Take it serious. We don't only want to hurt, and we appreciate the job you do because we really need it if you're going to work out in the weather that's coming our way. And take a look at your neighbors, your family, any of your older family, any of the really young family, any of your disabled family. Make sure you're taking care of them, family and friends, because it's going to be tough. So make sure not only you are stocked up, but also your family and friends. And yes, our friends at Hen House are ready for you to come on in and get stocked up. I will be there later tonight. So if you want to come have a stock-up party with me, I'm not sure if I'm going to be at the 135th and Metcalf or the 119th and Row, but I'll see you there as we stock up the delicatessen. Get that. They got a bunch of dinners made for you. You can grab a couple of dinners, maybe some fried chicken. I know my mama loves the fried chicken there at Hen House. I'll be grabbing her some legs, fried chicken legs from Hen House, but they are all ready for you. If you are stocking up, Hen House is ready for you. You can find all their great specials at henhouse.com. All right. We got a lot coming your way here today. The big guy is out. He's making a buck. That's the work ethic.
A Jayhawk buck, too. He's in Lawrence.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's a Jayhawk buck, but he's making a buck on Jayhawk turf. Let's put it that way.
That's right.
I don't think KU's paying him because I don't think they would. He roots for who? Travis Goff would veto the crap out of that right away. No, he wouldn't. I'm just kidding. Good relationship between KU and Curtis Siebold. But no, he's working for a company up there. And he's got a speaking engagement. He's a big voice guy, big voice talent. If you've been to high school basketball, you may have seen Curtis Siebold booming out. I always like to see the lineup. I always like when on a Friday, and Kyle and I are laser focused on the show, and Curtis is trying to memorize names. Try to figure out how to pronounce names. But I'm like, it's pronounced Smith, jackass. Smith, not Smythe, Smith. But he struggles with it sometimes, but we love him anyway. We'll miss him today. He'll be back tomorrow. We've got our program picks coming up with Fat Jack. Do we have Curtis's picks?
Good call. Let me text the big man.
Yeah, tell him, let's go. I don't care what you're doing. Drop everything right now and get us your picks for the games this
Yeah, I'm going to have to redo that pick sheet.
Yeah, it's just like Miami, and like this appears to be last week. It's nice of you to print out the picks.
I updated the records, but not the games that we're actually going to be picking.
Yeah, so we'll get another one. But the records are correct?
Yeah, the records are updated.
All right, so the big guy needs one win in our 3 remaining games. We've got 2 conference championship games and a Super Bowl. If Curtis Siebold can get the win, he will win program picks again this year. He won it last year, didn't he?
I thought it was Dravetta last year.
Was it Adam? Yeah, on his way out the door.
Yeah.
Good, because I don't like the idea of Curtis winning back-to-back. Man, that 0-5 3 weeks ago just killed me. I was tied with him. I reeled in 3. I'm 3 back. Pete's 3 back. Kyle, you were eliminated before the Chiefs.
Week 1.
Yeah, before the Chiefs were done, you were done.
Yeah.
You're a ways back. Woo. I want to point something out on our program picks. Fat Jack does a fantastic job. But amongst those of us on the show, Curtis, 55 and 45. Oh, man, really good. Making a lot of money. Curtis has made $550. When you take out the juice, I am 52 and 48. I've made $80. Right? No, I've lost $80. I'm sorry. I'm down $80. 4 over gets you $80 to the red. Same thing with Pete. But Kyle at 41 and 59. This is again if we're betting $100 each. At 41 and 59, Kyle is to the negative $2,390.
Yeah, it was a rough rookie season.
Wow. Have you learned anything from it?
I've learned that if we did anytime touchdown bets, I'd be better.
We should do that. We should add.
Week, just put together a little.
Add an underdog higher or lower, one of those. Yeah, I like it. I think we will do that. We'll add an element of that.
That's where I can contribute.
Okay. I'm with you. I hear you knocking. But yeah, the K-Dog, Pete and I can only tie him. We need him to go over. If he can win one more game, Curtis will lock up the program picks championship. Always making the picks right here on the air. We're not afraid. We're not afraid to tell you our record. Yeah, there are other people, they won't do that. We'll do it. Right here, 52-48, documented. We got a documented $80 losing season for you. If I can go 2-1, I would finish the year plus $10. That is the ultimate. If I could just finish plus $10.
Yeah, and like you've said before, we'll let you know when we're trashed.
Mm-hmm. I was trashed 3 weeks ago. Like it was never. It was when I was off too. I was off that day and I just winged it.
Yeah, we had Jack Johnson hosting. Yeah,
I did not have my full focus and concentration. I was not bringing it the way I would normally bring it. I really should get that. That should be scratched, and we should just go with win percentage. I think, but it's not going to happen. We have rules, and we play by them. So we'll get our program picks. We'll play Stump the Chumps. Peter Yates and come in. First time Sterling in. Boy, we're scraping the bottom of the barrel here for going to get Sterling, huh?
Yeah, no Curtis. Shane is in Orlando. So I went to Stu.
Went to Stu. Lebo's, of course, already playing. So, all right, we'll see what he brings. He's got questions?
He says he's going to have questions.
If he's going to have them, they're going to blow. If he's got them, I'll give him a chance. But if between now and 3:20, he's going to figure out his questions, they're going to blow.
He said he left to go get some coffee. So he's got to fuel up, and then he'll have his questions.
Okay. He is hop along these days.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Broken ankle or whatnot, whatever he's got, at least that's what he's claiming.
He's got to climb into that fire truck he drives, like 10 feet, with that boot on.
Is that what is it? I don't even know.
It's a big old Jeep Wrangler.
Oh, God.
He said it's brutal climbing into that thing.
We have a word for that. It's really 2 words. It's called overcompensation. Yeah. This is a guy who drove like the biggest production vehicle out there for a number of years. That's where I get off saying that. But, whatever. I'll take that shot. Blair Kirchhoff in the 4. Good job. Good get. Proud of you.
Oh, yeah. Thanks.
Guy's been coming in here to 810 for 20 years. You locked that one up. Swell. Always love talking to Blair. A lot going on in the college. And then Mike Sando, our NFL insider, coming up at the end. Maybe Gabe Boucher. I don't know. I don't know if there'll be time. He looked. Boy, that was a serious look on his face. We listen. Our job when we play that drop, my job is kind of easy. We can do kind of all right, but like one thing it ain't is like a reason to be walking around moping. Unless you get told what I got told when I walked in. I was just thinking about like I was bitching and moaning when I first got here. So like, let me take all that back. This is an easy gig, but people can still piss you off. Okay, I was going to tell you that straight out. So just so that's he's probably dealing with the same. That's why Gabe's got the glum look, because he's usually a happy-go-lucky guy. So there you go. All right, let's start with some NFL football. Let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. Phone lines are open, by the way. We always like to open the phone lines, at least in the first hour, sometimes other hours. Got them open right now if you want to grab a line, 913-3810810. Chiefs, Sporting, Royals, K-State, KUMU, always a topic here on the program, so we'll always invite you to call in on any of those subjects. And really, for the most part, anything that's, if you want to talk about the 1971 Stanley Cup, I'm going to tell you to hold off. Probably not going to go down that road. But any of the local teams or what's going on in sports today, we're happy to talk with you, 913-3810810. You can hit me up on the Twitter, at Soren Petro. That's SORENPETRO. I want to point out something. Are you aware, like we've talked about the offense changing? Is the offense really going to change, right? Are we convinced that that's going to happen? Because it's something that we agree that, that this system, at least this year, coupled with this talent, appeared to become stale, right? So are they going to be able to upgrade the offense? Eric Bieniemy's been a part of this offense before. He has left. He's, theoretically come up with some new ideas. And I think there's one, look, I think it's just a matter of, if we get to week 1 and Patrick Mahomes gets under center like three snaps, if they win 50-10, no one's going to say anything. But if they grind out even a win, but if they score less than 20 points and they don't get under center, and Patrick Mahomes has, no touchdowns and 1 interceptions, again, win or lose, like, there are going to be some quick questions, because I don't think you got to go hire Mike McDaniel to see that the Chiefs need to change some things. Kyle, have you seen the stat I tweeted out about, it's a next-gen stat, give credit to the folks who found it, most touchdowns from quarterbacks under center?
I've not seen that one.
Okay, good. Let's start with that one. Who do you think? Oh, no, let's start with this. Just what do you think was the most touchdowns thrown by one quarterback? So it's by individuals, by one quarterback from under center. In other words, he took the snap from under center and he threw a touchdown. How many do you think it was?
I'll start at 20+.
I would like a number.
25.
25. Okay. Pretty good guess. Matt Stafford with 28.
That's our leader.
That's our leader. And I will just tell you that he's way out there, but I'll tell you he's playing, right? He's still playing football. He's an MVP candidate. I think the MVP front runner. But this year, Matt Stafford, led the league with 46 touchdowns. 28 of them came from under center. So just guessing the guy who led the league in touchdowns is a pretty good one. But when he threw 28 of 46 from under center, it tells you the Rams were under center a lot, right? The Rams were 12-5. Matt Stafford started all 17 games. He threw for 4,700 yards, 46 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. 28 of them came from under center, okay? So, we've talked about it and how the Chiefs seem to be running better. I don't even care how it seems the Chiefs are doing now. Now that's not even the point. The point is, okay, because it's not about, what they need to fix in season or what they can do better. Now it's time to overhaul if you need to overhaul. Second on the list, like I said, he's got it by a wide margin. I'll tell you that second on the list is 18. Want to give me a name on who was second on that list with 18 touchdowns from under center?
Are they still alive in the playoffs?
That would tell you a lot, but yes, they are.
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold with 18. Good question. I've always said with a couple of clues and a few questions, I can nail anything. So I'm proud of you. Way to use that. He had 25 touchdowns. 18 of them came from under center. I mean, I think that is significant. Who do you think is third on that list?
Give me Drake May.
Drake May is third on that list. That is 3 of the 4 quarterbacks that are still playing. 3 of 4 are still playing that led the NFL, the top 3 that led the NFL in touchdowns from under center. I'll just go ahead and fill it on out from there because it's not quite as fun after that. Dak Prescott tied Drake May with 12 for third place. He tied for third place with 12 touchdowns from under center. So that was a nice performance. Then Caleb Williams, who was in the Elite Eight and almost in this Final Four, would have replaced Matt Stafford if he'd gotten here, but Caleb Williams had 10. Right? So it's not that everybody had, and by the way, Drake May had, 12? He had 12 out of his total of 31. Right? But, I mean, I think it's clear that one of the things, and look, I am quite confident that the Kansas City Chiefs know the success that everybody else is having from under center. I think they knew it during the year. What I think is going to be interesting when we get to training camp, do we see him under center more? And even really particularly when you get to the first game and we see what they do, what they hatch for a game plan. And, they could be in shotgun all the time. Like, well, it's because this team plays this or that or whatever. We'll definitively know 2-3 games into it. But what I want to know is if they do make the switch, we'll all want to know, was it an Eric Bieniemy thing? Was it a Chad O'Shea thing? Was it just Andy Reid? I think Andy Reid could see what's going on. I don't think you need somebody to come in and tell him that. Listen, these other teams, especially 3 of the 4 teams that are getting it done in the postseason, they're having their success this way. He can see it. He knows it. That's easy for everybody to see. The question is why it couldn't have been done last year. Right? That, to me, is intriguing. And not as in, what are you doing, Andy? You're a dunce because you didn't change this next year. No, I think there's a good reason, right? I think Andy Reid's an incredibly smart football mind. Is it because that part of the game, this is how important the offseason is? Because I'd like to know if it's look, we put together the offense, and once you set sail, you can't change it, right? You can't change course. Okay, then that gives us some information moving forward that, okay, the offense that we see coming out of the gates is the offense we're going to see because they don't have the ability to make lots of changes. If that's the case, all right, we know. All right, Andy Reid has to get it right in the offseason. And maybe every team has to get it right in the offseason. but it needs to be a part of their game plan. So to me, I think we're going to see Patrick Mahomes under center. I think it's a no-brainer. I think it's going to be complemented by an attempt to improve the running game. I think there'll be a running back addition, whether it's a draft pick or a free agent signing. I think if it's a free agent signing, it's going to be one of just a handful of free agent signings. I think we're going to see it. And so, okay, they're following the trend. The question is that the trend was there last year. These numbers, like Matt Stafford didn't throw 25 of those 28 at the end of the year. The Rams were impressive all year. You look around the league, you've got to have people in your quality control that are saying, this is what's working over there. And if you didn't, whatever the reason is why you couldn't adjust in season, to me is an incredibly compelling topic. Because you should be able to adjust in season. Right? I don't think your offense should be such that there's just nothing under center to go to. If you're like, well, we've got half that's shotgun and half that's under center, or 2/3 that's shotgun, a third under center, but they just did not seem to be able to make that adjustment in season. And again, I think there's a good reason for it. It may be as simple as it takes a lot of work to run offense efficiently. You don't really think OTAs and minicamp mean that much, but it does. You don't think the training camp plays mean that much, but it does. And once we've installed all that, we can't uninstall it. We can't switch it. That's who we are going to be this year, and it damn well better work. And then I want to know if that's the case with the Chiefs, is that the case with everybody else? Is the volume of plays and terminology and everything that goes into the modern NFL offense, coupled with the fact that some guys are going to be geniuses, but other guys aren't, and you got to bring everybody along for the ride, is it such that you just can't make that kind of change in season? I don't know. I don't know if you can. I think you should be able to. And if you are able to, then why couldn't the Kansas City Chiefs in 25? And how do they guard against that moving forward? Was it just a personnel issue?
Right, and I'm not sure how much of I believe of that, because in 2024 when
I want to be clear. I'm not stating it as a fact.
Right.
I'm saying it's the question that we will ask, and to me the answer is either we can't, or we could, but we didn't because. Either way, I'm fascinated by what the answer is, because these teams had success doing this, and the Chiefs never really embraced it.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen the Chiefs' offensive staff make changes before, and Patrick Mahomes used to just obliterate defenses that would blitz him heavy. When Eric Bieniemy was part of the staff, they changed it up a little bit. 2024, when Rashee Rice went down, that is a major piece of your offense that went down. They had to shift. They brought in Kareem Hunt, and they ran the ball a lot more after Rice went down. This year, what was the issue?
Yeah, I mean, they were not effective, and we know that they fired the running back coach, so they thought that was part of the problem. They fired the wide receivers coach. They fired some assistants to the assistant coaches that are out. So, you know, they clearly thought that they weren't coaching those positions well enough, and the hope is that and Matt Nagy's not back. Right, good. His choice or not, he's not back. So, I listen. The answer is never one thing. It's always a lot of things. But I think that's going to be one of the things that's intriguing. And I do love, especially when we get now to the final four teams, because you can really get your arms around four teams. You know, let's break down all 14 NFL playoff teams. First of all, some of them are just, like I said, in the wash, commercial filler, a team that stayed healthy and didn't, have a tough schedule. So they make their way in. You don't get here without being good. All these teams are really good. These are teams to study. What they did was successful. It was successful in the regular season. It's been successful now in the postseason. These are the teams that you can really sink your teeth into and come away and feel like, okay, we got to reverse engineer what they're doing. And so I think that's, one of the things that I'm sure the Chiefs are getting to do now that, frankly, when they're playing as late as they're going, they're like 8 days away from going to the combine when you win the Super Bowl. By the time you finish up the Super Bowl, finish up the media responsibilities on the Monday after the Super Bowl, come back to Kansas City, have a parade, do exit interviews for players and coaches. I mean, you're just a few days away from the combine. There's no excuses this year. They've got the full allotment of an off season to try to figure out, what it is that did and did not work. And I think that's, a big part of it. Couple other things. This year was a rough year, and then I'll go to the phones, 913-810-810. Bart, you'll lead us off here in a couple minutes. The Falcons, or excuse me, the Buccaneers have hired the former Falcons offensive coordinator. Zach Robinson has been hired by the Bucs as their offensive coordinator. Not Matt Nagy. Right? Now, maybe he's got a line on a job and everybody knows, and his agent's like, no. He's either here or here. We've got our foot in the door on an OC job if he doesn't land one of these head coach jobs. And so maybe it's not it. But I will point out, as offensive coordinator positions keep getting filled and Matt Nagy does not get hired, there's not a straight cause and effect that he's not here because the Chiefs weren't happy. But it starts to look like the Chiefs would be in the majority if other teams are not hiring Matt Nagy. Right? The reputation of Matt Nagy did not improve in Kansas City with his 3 years here as an offensive coordinator. And he may be the first guy that knows it. It may be a lot of people that are interviewing Matt Nagy, and I've wondered this about Eric Bieniemy. Like, if you're an owner, wouldn't it be wise to bring in somebody from any successful staff? Right? So, like, if you want to know, okay, I don't really want to hire Matt Nagy, but I want to see what his plan would look like because I know it's heavily influenced by Andy Reid. And so if you want to get my point is, how could Matt Nagy have head coaching job interviews and OC interviews, but maybe not really be that high? How did Eric Bieniemy get all these different? I mean, a lot of people would say, hey, it was the Rooney Rule. The fact that he was black was one of the reasons why he was getting interviews, and I think it contributed to it because there is that rule in place. And if you like the guy, you get a draft pick, or if eventually he would go someplace else, you would get a draft pick. I should say you would not. The league gives the draft pick to the team that lost the minority coach. But I wonder how much of all those interviews would be. Well, let me see. I know whatever he comes in with when he gives his pitch as to how he's going to run my organization, it's going to be heavily influenced by how Andy Reid does things. And so I get a peek under the Andy Reid covers and seeing how Andy Reid does things just by interviewing guys that coached under him. But everybody views any offensive coordinator position now, after the success but ultimately failure in Philadelphia of Doug Peterson, failure of Doug Peterson in Jacksonville, failure of Matt Nagy. Ultimately, I think it was a much better tenure than he's ever going to be given credit for, but Matt Nagy ultimately got fired in Chicago. Maybe the reason they keep getting interviews is, well, I want to know how Andy Reid does it. I think that's intriguing when I see some of the names that don't seem to be as accomplished, in my opinion, as Matt Nagy that are getting these jobs. I'm wondering, does he have a gig already and it just hasn't finalized because he's waiting on the potential to be a head coach? Is he turning down the opportunity to be OC in certain places? And is he going to regret it? Is he going to end up spending a year out of football? I think where Matt Nagy goes now that the Tennessee job has been filled, the head coach job has been filled, I think where he lands is going to be really interesting. And it's going to give us some information about how the league views Andy Reid and the rest of his staff. 913-3810810. Let's open up the phone lines. They are open, I should say. I got a couple lines still open. You can hit me up on the Twitter. It's at Soren Petro, SOREN PETRO. The program's off and running here on a Thursday.
The program with Soren Petro.
Ow! Ow! Ow!
Weekdays from 2 to 6 on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
All right, listen up. I'm a big fan of the sports memorabilia. I love it, love collecting it, love displaying it, but I will only display it if it's absolutely perfect. That's why I take every piece of sports memorabilia I own to Art and Frame Warehouse. They're at 92nd and Metcalf. They're easy to get to. Even if you live way up north, just come on around that 435 loop. Go north on Metcalf, probably about 2 miles, and you're going to find them right there on the west side of Metcalf. 92nd and Metcalf. They have the largest custom framing selection in Kansas City, plus unbeatable prices. Well, how do they do that? Well, they buy in bulk like the big box stores do. No, they don't have a 1 million square foot showroom, but they do have room to house all the materials. That means they keep their costs down by buying in bulk. But what you get is custom framing, true artist framing, every kind of option you can want, whether it's UV protection on the glass, maybe it's the museum glass. I love that. That cuts way down on the glare. So if you got something you're going to display in a sunny place, UV protection plus The museum glass keeps the glare down and still protects the item. Plus, they never poke holes in your items. They're experts in what they do. You know, a lot of places to try to make the jersey look good will actually pin it. They'll poke a hole in it. That damages the item. That lessens its value. That's never the case with Art and Frame. They're absolute experts. So no matter what you might need with your sports memorabilia, jerseys, shadow boxes, oversized frames, bats, balls, Olympic medals, Olympic torches even, they can display it perfectly. Gallery quality at warehouse prices. Plus, mention 810, you can score extra savings right now at Art and Frame Warehouse. Find them online at framekc.com. That's framekc.com. Make sure you tell them you heard about it right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. For all your framing needs, sure your sports memorabilia, but even your family photos, they're the best. Check them out right now at framekc.com. Art and Frame Warehouse. Framing done right.
Hey, y'all. It's the Rocket Roger Clemens here. Spent a lot of time pitching heat. Years later, the pain in my joints remind me of those days, but I'm not looking to sit still, and I definitely am not interested in going under the knife. That's why I chose QC Kinetics.
Not just for elite retired athletes. QC Kinetics gives everyday folks joint pain relief using regenerative treatments that work with your body to help repair joint damage.
No surgery, no long recovery, whether it's your knees, hips, shoulders, or back. My friends at QC Kinetics will help you get moving again so you can get back to doing the things you love.
QC Kinetics medical professionals will look at your x-rays or MRI to determine if you're a good candidate.
I trusted QC Kinetics to help me feel like myself again, and I'm proud to recommend them to you.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. 816-412-6299.
When was the last time you had a seriously good lunch for $9.99? Grab the Pick 3 special at McGregor's Butcher Shop Deli. Choose half sandwich, side, and a drink, all for under $10. Great value. McGregor's Butcher Shop Deli in Overland Park, where quality meets convenience.
NFL playoffs, let's go. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, makes every moment feel bigger. In the postseason, the game shifts fast. And with DraftKings live betting options, you can stay right in the moment. Plus, DraftKings has your back with early exit protection. If the player in your eligible NFL prop goes down at any point in the first half, you still get paid in cash. With DraftKings, you're covered through the entire half. Why bet player props anywhere else? New customers, here's your shot. Bet just $5, and if that bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code 810WHB. That's code 810WHB to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800.
You're listening to the program here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Conference Championship football coming up this weekend. Of course, you'll hear it right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB, your home of the National Football League. We're taking your phone calls right now at 913-810-810. I mentioned Bart would lead us off. You're in the program, Bart. What's going on, brother?
Oh, not much. Hey, thanks for taking my call. I want to talk about the last topic you were mentioning about getting under center and running. Basically, comment I have on it. I think it's personnel driven, primarily at two positions. I think that limited the Chiefs this past season was at the running back position, not really having an elusive running back and having enough dynamics there. And I would also argue for pass protection there, the right tackle, especially going under center. So I don't think with not having an elusive running back, I think basically does not really put any fear, and you're not going to really load up the box in that situation. And then really having the right tackle, basically how he's getting into his pass drops, I think under center, I think kind of collapses the pocket a little bit quicker and be able to cause more duress.
Wait a minute. Here's that's okay. So you're saying because actually Juwan Taylor grades well as a pass blocker. It's as a run blocker that he grades very poorly.
True, but I would be curious to see what his grades would be under center opposed to basically under the shotgun.
Yeah, I'll have to look that up. Interesting, Bart. I think we all agree, and thank you for the call. I think we would all agree that the running back position needs to be upgraded. That maybe Isaiah Pacheco has not come all the way back from the broken leg. He had his shortcomings. He had his strengths as well. Kareem Hunt isn't the back that he used to be. I mean, we could see those numbers declining even back in Cleveland. I am curious. I mean, listen, if they're not going to make a change with the offensive line coach, they're saying that that's not the problem. And so if they've changed the running back coach, the receivers coach, the offensive coordinator, brought in somebody who's also going to, who has been a passing game coordinator as well, and they don't get more effective, then we're down to it's either Andy Reid, it's Joe Blameyer, it's Andy Heck, right? I'm going to have a hard time putting it on the tight ends coach. But, yeah, I mean, some of the variables have been changed. So do we get the outcome that we want? Because if we don't, I think you got to take a look at some of the variables that weren't changed. And I think Andy Reid wants to throw the ball. I think Andy Reid has wanted to throw the ball since he played college football for Lavelle Edwards, who was way ahead of his time, was a complete innovator. And I think Andy Reid stayed ahead of the game for years because it has taken a remarkably long time for the NFL Defensive Brain Trust to realize that they're not going to run it. I think so many defensive coordinators, so many defensive minds have just been like, no, they're going to have to run it. And that's when we'll get them. Right? And I think defensive coordinators have been like, I don't care if they run it. Like, it's an offensive game. The rules benefit the offense. You can't take receivers' heads off coming over the middle. There's all these, you can't horse collar tackle. There's all these things that lean. They're going to score. I said it like a shutout. When they shut out the Raiders, you play NBA defense now. And by that, it's like, it's not about shutting out the opposition. It's about limiting how much they score. They're going to score. When you have less of a field, I mean, to me, it's so much about red zone defense now. Because with the big field to cover, it gets pretty tough with the modern rules. And the talent that's out there, the athleticism that's out there, the arm talent, the touch of the quarterbacks to take away 80 yards of field. Now, when your heels are against the end zone, that's when I think it shines. When you can, be a 4-point defense and force them to kick a field goal, I think that's a lot of the game today. Right? I think it's just the reality of where it is. On the other side, though, you better be able to keep pace as well. And I think, the defensive coordinators have just been like, well, they got to come around to run. They got to come around to run. Like they're going to have, and they're not. Well, they're not anymore. Now they're in nickel. They're in dime. The Chiefs face the most light boxes. Yet the run was just to try to, it was a grenade throw over the top or a showpiece run play or a, option run, an RPO, and not real power running. And I think it's just not in Andy Reid's blood. The question is, can he change? Because the Rams will run power at you. I know the Ravens weren't good this year, but they will run power. They got Derrick Henry for a reason. They wanted to run over you. And I think the Chiefs have to be able to, bring a power edge. You talk about a personnel side, which, and I would agree. I want to say I think it's personnel that's given to the kind of personnel that the coaches asked for, but all three of your tight ends used to play quarterback. Even the guy who was your, quote, run blocker over the championship runs was a college quarterback. It was Blake Bell. They don't have a Jason Dunn. They don't have a fullback. And so, I think the personnel has been acquired to fit the scheme. The scheme needs to change, and the personnel department needs to be sent out to go get different types of players. If that happens, we could see change.
And the change you'd like to see is just more assets being poured into that room. Something other than a 7th-round pick and we'll just throw a couple $1 million at an Elijah Mitchell, right?
If they took a 3rd-round running back and signed Tyler Algier,
I think that would have Chiefs fans over the moon.
I think it would be a significant upgrade.
Oh, yeah.
913-381-0810. Let's go to Ted. You're in the program, Ted. What's going on, buddy?
How's it going, guys?
Good, buddy. What's on your mind?
Well, so a couple things. Number one, what I can't get my head around is everybody talking about how the receivers would not finish their routes, and that if Pat was scrambling, they were always sucked up to somebody else. And the question I have is, do you think that's from lack of effort, or that they don't know what they're doing, or they're not wise enough to do what needs to be done? And then on top of that, these guys didn't get better last year, and with Pat kind of on the mend, I question whether they're going to get better this year. It seems to me like the Chiefs need an adult in the room. I know they have a new wide receiver coach.
And by all accounts is an adult. That comes with Rob Gronkowski's seal of approval that said he's the reason Julian Edelman made the transition that he did to being from a guy who was a college quarterback and turning him into one of the most productive slot wide receivers in football. I mean, he's 53 years old. He had 10 years as a wide receiver coach, winning 3 championships with the New England Patriots. He had 6 years as the passing game coordinator and wide receiver coach with the Cleveland Browns, who during that time their head coach won 2 Coach of the Year awards. I mean, they had 2 bounce-back years where the offense played very well. I think there's every reason to believe, Ted, that the wide receiver room has been fixed. Or at least the coaching part has been fixed. Does he come in and go, that guy sucks, get rid of him?
I'm worried about the personnel.
Okay.
Yeah. In regards to maturity and whether they'll do what it takes. The other question I have is there a stat out there that do they give the stat on what the net yard, maybe, I don't know if it's where you start or what the net gain is in regards to kickoffs and punt returns? Because I wonder where the Chiefs ended up last year. And when I'm saying net, I'm talking about after the penalties. Because it seems to me, the way that special teams were, that we did not win that battle all year long. Whether it was punt returns or kickoffs or or punting. That when you net out the penalties and everything, I don't know, is the disparity 10 yards, 15 yards of where we should be compared to our opponents? Is there a way of measuring that?
There is. I'll have to look at some of the analytic sites as to where they were. But, look, we know the penalties were a huge problem. We know the return game had a couple of runs, but there were so many penalties that it was definitely a negative. The coverage game, I think, was pretty good. I know there was one kick out of bounds, right? That was a killer in one of the games. I'm trying to remember which game it was. We know that there were a lot of missed kicks. Pretty much anything that could go wrong for this team did go wrong, and that absolutely includes special teams. So I think it was a negative. The question is, has the game passed Dave Toub by, or did Dave Toub just have a bad year? And I know some people say, well, they weren't very good last year. They have changed one of the major factors, which is how you kick off. And so there is a learning curve. I will say this. Usually I think when you make a major change, if you're a great coach, you take advantage of that. You get to what works best first, and you have an advantage over your opponents. That has not been the case with the new kickoff rules with Dave Toub. They've had a ton of penalties, and that is a huge problem. There's no way to put lipstick on that pig, and it does not look like they're making a change there. And I think that all of these things, if it's another year filled with penalties on special teams, that's going to go against Andy Reid again because they have time to go hire whoever they want now, and there's certain spots that they're not changing. So, yeah, I think it's a very real, something we're going to look at. If it doesn't get better, then you wonder, does Andy Reid just have his guys, and no matter what, he'd rather go down with his guys than change out his guys and win a championship. And that doesn't make him it actually makes him a better human being than it does coach, right? That he's going to stick up for his guys and take care of his guys over trying to win games. But it's the National Football League. It's not Little League football. It's not high school football. It's not D3, D2 football where it's all about the camaraderie and all that. You're here to win. That's number 1, 2, and 3 on the agenda. So being a great guy is not going to be justification for not fixing what's broken. They need to be a lot better on special teams next year, Ted, no doubt.
Yeah, one of the things you always said was, I can't remember the numbers you said, that the mean is you get to keep your job in the NFL if you're 8-8, right?
Yeah.
And if you win 12, if you go 12-4, and was the number you should get fired? Is it 4-12? Is anything worse than that?
Yeah, 4 wins or less is an automatic. Other than your first year as a coach, where you may be having to broom out a massive amount of cap and all that kind of things. After your first year, any season that you win 4 games or left is grounds for termination in my book.
And so I just want to make a statement. I know that the Chiefs. I know that Mahomes was out the last 3 ball games, but they should never, ever. I don't know all the problems that happen. They should never only win 6 ball games when Patrick Mahomes plays in 14 of them.
Well, and he didn't finish the 14th in a game that could have gone either way. So, in 13 games that he played and finished, they were 6-7, and that is still,
that's
not acceptable.
No.
Yeah. No, your point's valid. I appreciate it, buddy. It's always good hearing from you. 913-381-810-810. 913-381-810. Mike, hold on. You'll be first up when we come back. You're listening to the program. You're listening to the program here on Sports Radio 810 WHB, 913-3810810, the phone number, 913-3810810. Talking some Chiefs football to get things started here today. Taking your phone calls. We'll play Stump the Chumps coming up, get some program picks. That's coming up in our next hour. Right now, 913-3810810. Let's talk to Mike. You're in the program, Mike. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Good, man. What's on your mind?
Good. I'm going to preface my question by saying I wouldn't have changed it, but I want your opinion on when McCole Hardman caught that pass against the Niners and we won 2 in a row. At that point, the shift was about bringing everybody back or going after 3 Super Bowls in a row. I want your opinion on, because of that win, how much of the perceived lack of proactiveness fed into the Chiefs, not overturning certain positions and giving out money probably where there shouldn't have been, because we won that game, because I think that has a lot to do with where we are now. I just want your opinion on that. And I'll listen off the air.
I think it's a fair point, Mike. It's number one, look, I think it's lots of things. We say that over and over again. I think fatigue of playing as deep into the playoffs as they have for 7 years is a big part of the problem. I think keeping their great players in house. Like for me, I think you started to say, would I have done it that way, right? I have been a believer, and will remain a believer, that you make the right call, and I'll say this about the Royals too. You make the right call for the long haul, time and time again, and eventually you fill your roster up with so much talent that even though you might make a move that brings you down a little bit, because there's this idea that when you win a championship, you were the perfect team, so everything you did was right, and if you'd have done one thing differently, one thing wrong, it would have changed everything. That's not the case. Like, you may be good enough to win a championship, and just on that day, you lose, right? You may be good enough to win a championship 10 times. If you are, you'll probably be lucky to win 2, okay? But even in the years that you are good enough, you might be able to back up a little bit and be 2 points better next year. If you could give up 1 point, like if it takes a 90 to win the Super Bowl, and you could go from 92 to 91 on your scale, on what you are, but you could add 2 points to whatever you're going to be the next year, you should do that. And if you do that over and over again, you're eventually going to be a great team, because you're going to fill up with enough talent, fill up with enough, right decisions that you will be able to contend year after year. I'll point to the Milwaukee Brewers. It's something we were going to maybe get to later, that the Milwaukee Brewers moved Freddie Peralta, right? 3 straight years, 200 strikeouts. That's what the Mets are looking at when they go get Freddie Peralta. We're going to get him. You know what the Brewers are looking at? 200 strikeouts over 3 years means a lot of nasty pitches, means that arm's a ticking time bomb, means we're going to cash it in and we're going to get some new talent now. They also took back position players that don't get hurt as much. We'll build the pitching. We think we've got that figured out. We can take a good raw piece of pitching clay. We can refine it, make them dominant, but we're going to flip pitching. What was it, 2 years ago? It was Corbin Burns that they moved?
That's right.
I mean, and last year they had the best record in the National League. Why? Because they keep making the right decision for the long haul. 2 years ago they traded Devin Williams. In the midst of a playoff run, they traded what was the most dominant reliever.
Their closer,
who crapped in his hat this year for the Yankees. All right, but they made the right decision, and everybody freaked out. And they said, but this is the right time to step off the merry-go-round. And I think that's the mindset. We've heard Clark Hunt say it, and in some ways they do. They play for the long haul. But when you're signing a center and a guard to the highest contracts that those positions have, you are not playing for the long haul. And that's what's so puzzling is, to your point about going for the three-peat, this was about going for a 4 straight conference championship. Like, this was not like the three-peat. I you've heard me. We've gone through 2 contracts with Chris Jones, and I wouldn't have done it. I would have traded him. The 4 teams that are playing right now are the 4 teams that had the best pressure rate from their defensive tackles. Right? There have been good defensive tackles out there, and isn't anybody making as much as Chris Jones in that list of 8 defensive tackles? Okay, so if you always make the right decision big picture-wise, I think you will fill up with enough talent that it's okay to move on. Like, I know your fans will freak out. Brewer fans are freaking out, just as Rays fans freaked out. Well, when are we going to go for it? And the reality is, going for it doesn't guarantee success. Like, the worst thing that will have happened in a lot of young Royals fans, if your first time rooting for the Royals was like that 14-15 run, going for it at the deadline in 15 and having Ben Zobrist work out, and Johnny Cueto workout in the sense that he threw two very important games, one in the World Series, one in the playoffs, makes you think that every year you should go for it if you're in contention. And that is absolutely wrong. That just happened to work out that year. Give Dayton Moore and his staff all the credit in the world that it did work out and that they found guys that could really help them out. But big picture-wise, that is not the way to do it. And so, yeah, the Chiefs should always play for the long haul because the most important part's Mahomes.
All right, what player holds the record for rushing yards in an AFC or NFC championship game? Brought to you by La Feta Delicatessen.
It's a tradition as old as the game itself.
And that's why I like the Dayton Triangles, plus the 5.5 straight up over Kenton.
Picking the right side is not child's play.
It doesn't take a genius to realize that Houston's failed to cover their last 10 outings on away turf the week after scoring more than 3 touchdowns in a conference game.
My little girl said the cutest thing.
You need a little help.
Geez, that information might have been a little more useful to me yesterday.
That's where he comes in.
This is my stone cold lock of the century.
Or week. It's the program picks with Fat Jack.
Viva Las Vegas. Viva.
Yes, indeed. Hour number 2 of the program begins right now with our program picks. Do we get the big guys' picks? He's weighed in.
I've got him. He's
okay,
in.
you've got him. All right, good. It is time for our program picks. Of course, Petro, Collier, K-Dog off today, but Peter Yachinick has manned his post. He tells me that stock up, hell no. Ready to dance. Bring on the snow and the cold. You're going to need a heavier coat than that one, though.
Oh,
this weekend.
Yeah. That's just for indoors.
Okay. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing fine, man. How about yourself?
Well, I'd be doing better if I didn't look down and see both you and I are tied for second.
Yeah, you and I can't, even if we go undefeated, we can't catch the
Well,
dog.
I think we should make Curtis's picks be known first.
Yeah.
So if we want to just go opposite him in all 3 games, we've got a chance to tie, but we can't
That's
beat him.
exactly what Curtis said. He said Soren's just going to go opposite of whatever I say.
I'm actually not because I'm such a I want to beat him, but I don't want to have a bad record either. So I don't want to go 0-3 and then end up being just 1 game over. I want to finish plus in the money, and Pete and I are just barely plus in the money.
Right. We got to win at least one.
We're not
game.
even. I'm sorry, we're not even plus the money. We're $80 under, so we got to go 2-1 to finish plus in the money.
And
so I'm more interested in not being negative than I am in beating Curtis. Partially because beating Curtis is I can only tie him. I can't beat him.
Curtis had a good year last year too. Curtis is tough. He's tough. He's
no Adam Dravetta.
Well, he's no Fat Jack,
who is still the reigning champ at this, and he is definitely no Fat Jack. Speaking of which, let's welcome our buddy Fat Jack from FatJackSports.com. Jack, how are you, my friend?
Doing great. Actually, in Las Vegas, betting this weekend's games. And,
do you live out there, Jack?
I don't. I live actually all over. We have a place in Orange County in Balboa Island, which is basically Newport Beach. I fly over here once a week on JSX Airlines, and I go tape a TV show. I bet the weekend's games, and then I normally go back there. That's what I'll be doing today. It's California. It's 74 and sunny there, where you guys are going to be getting a ton of snow, a ton of wind, a ton of weather. I will not. But indoors, it's all going to be 65 wherever we are. But, things are great. We're wrapping up a good season. Last week, if you won, you guys are beating yourself up about last week. Last week, if you won, you got lucky. And if you didn't win, you got unlucky for the most part. Anytime there's 4 or 5 turnovers, which a lot of the games had a lot of turnovers, though you chalk those up as the lucky to win, unlucky to lose pile. Those will have very little to do with long-term success. So although I'm making a short-term excuse, it's not a long-term excuse. But it's important to remember that anytime you get evenly matched teams, if one of them goes out and turns the ball over 3 or 4 times, they're going to lose. If the other one doesn't, they're going to win. We lost a little in football last week, but we won with soccer. We won with the players' props, and we won the national championship game on Monday. So, at this point, you should not be caring a lot about 1 week or 1 game. It's more about long-term success. So that's what I'm offering my clients at FatJackSports.com is the ability to build profit long-term so that when you have a team like Houston that turns it over 67 times, you don't have to care that much about it. Only people who care about that are the ones that have been making bad decisions all year long.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. And by the way, update us here, since we've only got a couple of games. You were on the Rams, I know, on the preseason. Yep. That was one of them that you had. And I can't remember, there might be one other ones that, I don't know if you had one of these other teams or not, but how to handle, we touched on it just briefly last week, but how to handle if you wanted to hedge on that.
Yeah, so I had 4 different bets that I gave all the clients out. We talked about here on the show back in August and September. We had Tampa Bay, which was a loser. They did not make the playoffs. We had Pittsburgh Steelers at 28-1, who did. We have the Rams at 18 or better to 1. I have them at 18-1. And then we had Texas Tech at 82-1 to win the national championship in college football. When you make bets like that, it has very little to do with them actually winning the championship, although the Rams certainly have a shot at that. It's about being paid off, guaranteeing yourself money for a decision you make months ahead of time. I don't want to be sweating those type of bets come playoff time that I made back in August. So where we are right now, I hedged back 2X, and I sent this out to all the clients. So if you had $100 to win $1,800 on the Rams to win the Super Bowl, we bet $300 on Chicago on the money line, and so we lost that. So now we're down. It's actually $200. So now we're down to 16-1 basically. So this week we're going to hedge back a little bit more of that, guaranteeing that if Seattle wins, that we will guarantee ourselves money based on that one good decision. If the Rams win, we'll have basically 10-1 left going into the Super Bowl, and they will be a favorite. So the hedge in the last game is easy. Again, these are things I send out at FatJackSports.com to every client because a lot of those guys take advantage of these, and it's just extra money that we're able to make over the course of a season. But I'm not looking to ride it all the way across the finish line, unlike a lot of quote-unquote gamblers would do. I'm looking to guarantee myself money based on a good decision I made months before.
Yeah, if you want to put a couple of bucks on the Chiefs to win the championship just because they're your team and you root for them all the way, great. But if you want to turn a profit on some of those, totals bets, what I forget what we prop bets, season prop bets. If you want to turn a profit, then you listen to Fat Jack. You listen when we start. He laid all this out at the beginning of the year, and then as we come down the stretch, he keeps you up to date with what you need to be doing to make sure you turn that profit. So it's great, and we will be doing some of the Super Bowl props and all that kind of stuff like we do every year as well. So that's still to come here with our buddy Fat Jack. But we've got 2 playoff games, right, that we're going to be picking. We got the Patriots -4.5 at the Broncos. Rams at Seahawks. The Seahawks are 2.5-point favorites in this one. And we have the big guys' picks in advance. So let's start with Curtis. We'll start with Patriots at Broncos. What does Curtis have for the Pats and Broncos?
Curtis is going Pats.
He is going Pats. Let me put him down right here, New England. Okay, Curtis goes Pats. That brings us to Kyle. Where will you be going?
Man, as much as I make fun of the Patriots and their weak schedule, they have really faced a gauntlet of defenses in this postseason, and they've done well. So give me Drake May and the Pats.
He's on the Pats as well. Okay, Pete?
Is JS BS? I'm not sure what it is here, but I mean, you have to be crazy to take, really, even with the points, and I know it probably would be maybe a little less than that if the starter was playing, but I'll take the Pats. But I mean, I can't Jarrett Stead. I've never been big on him, so take the Pats.
Well, I would like to announce congratulations, Curtis Siebold. You will be the program picks champion.
Yes, that's right.
Because Pete went with the Pats, and I'm going with the Pats as well. I don't like being on the same side with all you guys, which means that neither one of us can catch them and tie them, which would be our only opportunity. So congratulations, Curtis.
Right.
You just officially, as I wrote down NE on my scorecard, locked up the season championship. So that's number one. Congrats to you. 77% of the cash is on the Pats, 72% of the tickets. I don't like that. I don't like when everybody's on one side. But I do like it when there's more money than tickets. That means the bigger bettors. It's not just the quantity of people doing it, but the bigger bettors are betting the New England Patriots, and I think for a reason. Listen, I say all the time, if you don't have a quarterback, I won't play you as an NFL team. Like, I would not play the Raiders. There's no game, there's no scenario this year where I would have played the Raiders. They don't really have a quarterback. I don't believe Geno Smith is a legit NFL quarterback. Anyone like that. Jarrett Stidham is not a legit NFL quarterback. It's a one game. Maybe there's some scenario. I mean, you could talk yourself into the defense, talk yourself into being at home. I can't do it. You play the Pats or you stay out of the way of this one. Jack, I hate that I am on the same side as everybody here, but I have to take the Pats as well. How do you see this one?
You guys make me so sad sometimes. Sometimes I think you're ready for the big leagues, you're ready for the majors, let's move to Vegas and buy some gold chains and get after it. And then other times, you do exactly what you're doing right now. You line up with every $50 guy, and you don't. Here's the thing, guys. First of all, Jarrett Stidham versus Bo Nix is worth 5 points to the line. That's what he should be worth. So New England was going to be an underdog in this game, but probably 2.5 on the road at Denver. Try to think back when Bo Nix was playing. 2.5, 3-point underdog. It's moved 8 points the other direction on a quarterback that's only worth 4.5 to 5 points. That's the first thing. Number two, if you're handicapping starting with the fact that Bo Nix is not playing and Jarrett Stidham has thrown as many passes as Curtis and I have in the NFL over the last 2 seasons, you are missing the boat. That is baked into the line. That's why they're getting 5.5 points, even though they should only be getting about 3.5 points with that same injury. So all of the stuff that you guys are factoring in has already been factored in by the line setters. They know he's not going to play, and they've over-moved that line because they know the general public is going to do exactly what you guys are doing. No quarterback can't play him. You dismiss the fact that it's at home. You do dismiss the fact that New England's quarterback has been sacked 57 times this year, including 5 each of the last 2 weeks. If we think Drake May is going to stand back there and have a ton of success offensively, we have not been watching not what Denver's been doing, but what New England has been doing, having nothing to do. I'm not going to beat up on their schedule. You do play who's in front of you, but that is a little bit of a problem, and the fact they're on the road. The value is where you should start here. There's no value with New England. It's very similar to Indiana. It's not just the money that you made betting on Miami with me. It's the money you didn't lose betting on Indiana. This is exactly that type of line, exactly that type of game. Give me the quarterbackless Broncos at home to cover the number against New England.
The quarterback, so I mean, that doesn't it doesn't even give you any caution. The fact that
it doesn't, because I think Bo Nix was overrated to begin with. This guy has been better this year, but they're not built around quarterback play. This is not Tom Brady. This is not Peyton Manning. This is a quarterback that's been managing the game. He is a lot more mobile than what Stidham is, which does worry me. But they win with defense. They win with running the football in a very actually conservative game plan. Think back to the first 2.5 months of the season. This is not the Bo Nix show. This was how good is this Denver defense. That defense didn't go anywhere. And it does worry me if I'm a New England fan that he's going to get hit 5 or 6 times in this game when he's not expecting it, and 1 or 2 of those might end up in turnovers in a short field. It's about the value. It's not about that I love Denver without the quarterback. I just love the value of the line should be New England plus or minus 3, and instead they're given 4.5 or 5 over those key numbers.
Okay. All right. We'll take it. All right. So that's the AFC Championship game. Shame on you guys is what we just heard there. So,
Jack, don't hit me.
I'm wrong. I'm wrong a lot, so maybe I'm wrong. But I mean, the theory is my theory is sound, but it could be wrong.
I'm scared of you, Jack.
Jack, when you started talking on that, Pete flinched and put his arms up like he was blocking a backhand.
I'm afraid of you, man. Don't hit me, please.
By the way, an asterisk here. I had the gout for a week. I ate too much beef jerky from Buc-ee's on my cross-country trip, and so I went on a steroid about a week ago. So you might be getting steroid fat, Jack, right now. There could be a little overreaction there.
I'm
scared of you, buddy.
Good to know. He's hopped up on steroids here as he makes these picks. So.
And Jack, you get gout from eating really rich food. I don't think jerky's fall in that category.
Beef jerky, I looked it up, and I talked to my doctor. I had too much beef jerky, apparently. So.
Really? How much did you eat? What is too much?
So much. 1.5 pounds of peppered turkey beef jerky on a 4-day road trip from Oklahoma to California, and I just kept eating it. And I could not get the gout to go away, so I had to go get on a steroid. And my wife also agrees I'm a little bit too passionate right now for things like Denver and New England.
They probably called ahead of you on that trip saying, hey, this guy's heading your way and watch out for the bathroom.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The peppered turkey jerky. Like, was it even good, or is this like a dietary thing?
So good.
Really?
That's so good. I think a captive audience, too.
And now he's hiding jerky. He's hiding it.
Yeah, between Amarillo and Albuquerque, there was a lot of beef jerky consumed. I've been paying for it ever since.
Highway 40, man. I mean, wasn't like you had a lot to look at. I can tell you that.
Exactly.
I've made that drive a few times. All right, Rams at Seahawks. The Seahawks are 2.5-point favorites. What's the big boy got?
He is going Seattle.
He's going Seattle. All right. Let's go to Pete. We'll let Kyle go last year. Pete?
I'm tired of betting on the Rams. I bet on them God knows how many times. They disappoint me. I'm going to take the Seahawks for the very first time this year. Very first time, and I'm going to take them minus the 2.5.
Kyle, I'm counting on you to do me a solid here in a minute, okay, because I am on the Rams. I was there for quite some time. By the way, the money 60% of the tickets, but 73% of the money. That does concern me. That means bigger bets are going down. Not just lots of them, but big ones are going down on the Seahawks. But I think that's the wrong side here. The better quarterback is Matt Stafford. I'll always take offense against defense, although Curtis has had some stats. I know in the Super Bowl, like when number one defense has met number one offense, the number one defense has almost always won. That's for a lot of that's based upon like the first 35 years of the Super Bowl. I think offense is more important. I think Sean McVay gets it done. I think the Rams are the team that was destined to be in the Super Bowl this year from the NFC, and it's a tough spot to go win in Seattle, but I think they get it done. Kyle?
Well, it's a battle of the under-center quarterbacks here with Sam Darnold versus Matt Stafford. And I look at last week. Is Seattle really that much of a wagon, or did they just beat up on a beat-up 49ers team? I'm going Rams.
Well, damn it. I was hoping to be all alone on that one, but I'll bring Kyle along. There's nothing like bringing a guy with you who's 41-59 on the year, and if we'd bet $100 a game every game is only $2,390 to the red. Nothing like being on the same side with him, is it, Fat Jack? Tell me, do I have a shot here?
He'll be keeping your leg busy. If somebody had to, it might as well be Kyle, right? One last thing on the other game.
Yeah.
Playoff teams that are 4-point underdogs or more, and this is important to talk to that overreaction that people have. Playoff teams of 4-point underdogs or more, they're 9-0 against the spread over the last 50 years. When you get in the playoffs and go look that one up.
Okay.
You get 4.5 points at home, 4 points or more at home in the playoffs, you cover. So that's another thing about that overreaction of the last game. This game's tougher. That's why I immediately deviated back to the other game. Because this was
what was the total over the last 50 years? 9-0, you said?
9-0 against the spread.
Okay.
A 4-point underdog or more at home in the playoffs, 9-0.
I'm making a note.
Find me somebody that did not fall into that, and I will tell you who the liar is that I follow.
Okay.
So where I got that information, because that's a big stat. It's about the overreaction. It's not what a team did 15 or 20 years ago. It's about the general public in the playoffs reacting to something. A lot of times an injury, not always quarterbacks. Obviously, that's a big deal.
Right.
But an overreaction to what's going on in previous to create value with that home team in the playoffs. All right. These two teams, they've played twice already. The Rams had 58 points. Seattle had 57 points. Yards, 830 yards total for the Rams, 829 for Seattle. These two teams are very evenly matched. This will come down to turnovers for sure, or the team that makes the least amount of mistakes. It's hard for me to take my heart out of it because I do have the big Rams, 1,000 to win 18,000 on the Rams. I do like them. I like them preseason. I love their offense, obviously. I don't love where their defense is, and I obviously don't love all the travel they've had to do. That 2-point conversion, very, very costly, and the Seattle should be rested based on the San Francisco domination. So with all that being said, I'm going to lean toward the Rams plus the points here because I do have the big ticket, and I don't really trust Sam Darnold, as I don't think most people do. I don't trust Sam Darnold to be able to bring them back if they get down. And I do think most of the pressure is on Seattle after winning a really, really close contested game at home with a really risky call in a 2-point conversion.
Can I pick a nit with you, Jack?
Sure, please.
You don't believe in Sam Darnold, but Jared Stidham all day.
I believe in the line. I believe in how many points.
Okay.
And I believe in the overreaction. I don't believe in Stidham any more than I believe in Curtis or I playing quarterback. But I believe it's because I think either he or I have thrown any passes in the NFL either. So it's not like I'm a big believer of Stidham. I'm a believer in Sean Payton. I'm a believer in their defense, and I'm a believer in an overreaction to the value of Bo Nix.
Okay,
so,
that makes sense.
But, yeah, this game, let's go with the Rams. Let's have them pull you up. But I think this is the hardest one. It'll be the one you have to earn the most because these are two very, very evenly matched teams.
All right, I like it. All right, Fat Jack, tell everybody how they get in touch with you. Where can they find your great picks, and what do you got going on right now at FatJackSports.com?
Yeah, two special things this week. Number one, if you sign up for any package beyond Sunday, so I would absolutely encourage you to get the season package. It works out. Football season is about $60 a week when you sign up right now through the 2027 Super Bowl. It saves you a ton of money. Think about that versus the $99 specials that I run or the $149 you're normally going to pay for the weekend. You get all the plays, and you get the baseball season for free this summer. You get all the horse races we have. All that's free. And this weekend, no matter whether you sign up for the weekend or you sign up for the whole year, you get the players' props for free. The Players Props have won money both the last 2 weeks. They've only had 4 losing weeks total in 2026-2027 football season, and you're going to get those exact same plays absolutely free when you sign up either for the weekend for $99 or better, go all the way through next year's Super Bowl. You can pay out that service fee over the next 8 months if you sign up for next year's package, and your package starts today. So FatJackSports.com. Soccer's winning again this week. They won again last week. The World Cup is coming this summer, as Kansas City knows, and we are killing the soccer. That costs about $20 a week when you add soccer to your football and basketball package. FatJackSports.com. Sign up today, stop guessing, and start building consistent profit betting the games against the spread.
Fat Jack, you're the man. Stay hot, and we will talk with you again next week, my friend.
All right, guys, go get them. I'll see you soon.
All right, there he goes. The best of the business, Fat Jack from FatJackSports.com. Check out his great work at his website. Everything documented right there. He's the best in the business. We will take a break when we come back. Time to play a little Stump the Chumps. You could be going to get an oil change for free. Big O Tires will give you an oil change for free if you provide a final Chumps question. Just send it to Kyle at 810WHB.com. That's Kyle at 810WHB.com. If we use it, you're getting your oil change for free at Big O Tires, the team you trust, with 13 locations around the metro. Shuttle service to pick up and drop off. Financing available for every budget, and a great special going on right now. Look, we've got snow coming. Do you have the right tires on your car? You can save $80 to $120 instantly on select sets of tires from Nitto, Cooper, Nexen, and Sumitomo. Fresh tires means better traction, smoother ride, confidence in whatever the weather might throw at you. Don't be driving around in the snow on worn-out tires. Get the Big O Tires. Locally owned and operated. You can get your new year going right with new tires, new slicks from my friends at Big O Tires.
The program with Soren Petro.
I have a giant man crush on Vinny Pasquantino.
Weekdays from 2 to 6 on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
All right, let's go. We're talking picks here with Fat Jack. The NFL playoffs are here. It is time to get in on all the action. I don't know what you've been waiting on. You can take advantage right now of a great deal with Underdog. That's right. You can download the Underdog app and use the promo code Soren, my first name, Soren, and score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. Again, the promo code is my first name, Soren. You can make entries, win money right now in Missouri. In fact, you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. It's super easy. Pick your favorite players and then just determine whether to go higher or lower on whatever stats you like. Touchdowns, rushing yards, receptions, receiving yards. It's all right there, right? Like, do you love the Rams against the Seahawks? Do you think that Puka Nacua is going to run wild? Then go higher on the 91.5 receiving yards on Puka Nacua. It's just that easy. Or maybe it's Matt Stafford and his passing yards, right? Maybe it's Sam Darnold. Look, I like the Matt Stafford quarterback rushing totals. Go higher on Matt Stafford for 1/2 yard. Somewhere in there, I believe there's a quarterback sneak. I believe Matt Stafford gets loose for a 3-yard run and goes higher than the 1/2 rushing yards. Listen, it's just fun things like that I enjoy talking about with my friends. You'll enjoy it as well. Pick your favorite players, pick your favorite stats, and go higher or lower on any of the numbers that are out there. College hoop fans, they're all there as well. KU, K-State, Mizzou, check it out. You know your teams. You know the numbers. Get it in on Underdog right now. Use the promo code Soren. Download the Underdog app. Promo code Soren. Score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. Again, that's promo code SOREN. It's an Underdog. Make plays. Win money.
Must be 18 plus and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Jeff Montgomery here for Amoeba Medical. The new year is all about turning the page and feeling your best. Men, if better sleep and fewer bathroom trips are on your list, an enlarged prostate could be the reason. I decided not to carry that problem into another year and contacted Dr. Brown at Amoeba Medical. Their non-surgical treatment was fast, simple, and came with minimal recovery time. And it's covered by insurance. Start the year more comfortable and well-rested. Schedule a visit with Dr. Brown and the team at Amoeba Medical in Kansas City. Amoeba Medical, MIVA-medical.com.
Hey, this is Terry from Zarda Barbecue.
Come into Zarda today and try my favorite sandwich, the Turkey Crunch. Our turkey's deep fried, sliced thin, topped with melted provolone, and 2 strips of crispy bacon and homemade chipotle mayo on a toasted Roma bun. This sandwich literally melts in your mouth. For a limited time, you can try the Turkey Crunch for only $10 at Zarda Barbecue in Blue Springs and Lenexa. Zarda Barbecue, come get some.
You'd love new windows, but you don't want to pay a fortune for them. Well, during Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 Windows free sale, you could also get 0 down, 0 monthly payments, and 0 interest for 2 years. Hurry, sale ends soon, so schedule your free estimate now at windownation.com.
Hey, I'm Brian Sight.
And I'm Zachary Sight. And at Bob Sight Auto Group, we treat all of our customers like family. That's how we do business.
As we roll into a new year, our family is proud to celebrate over 100 years serving Kansas City and Lawrence, earning trust one customer at a time.
From Bob Sight Ford to Kia, Honda, and Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, we've grown with our community while holding tight to our same values we started with: honesty, transparency, and respect.
And right now, our New Year sales event makes it the perfect.
As bits of information that are of little value. Webster never played Stump the Chumps. A Kansas City institution for a quarter century. Stump the Chumps. And here they are: Soren Petro, Pete Enoch, Todd Lebo, and Curtis Siebold.
Where'd you find this clown?
Down the hall. At the bottom of the stairs.
You keep track of my scores.
I was the guy wearing size 16 shoes and a red nose.
You keep track of my scores.
Pete, put your headphones on. We're on the air. I don't want you cussing.
Yeah, when Pete doesn't have his headphones on, I don't know. I want you to know.
Hold on. We're on the air.
It's go time, Pete. It's go time.
Curtis looks good today.
Okay.
Well, when did you see him?
Yeah.
Are you saying you're Curtis? Yeah. You have a broken ankle.
I have a bloody stump of a foot.
You move around about as well as Curtis does.
Curtis may have you beat right now.
Yeah, he might. He might.
It's called Stump the Chumps, and you're making fun of my stump of a foot. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Petro, Kyle, of course, Todd Lebo is here. We welcome in Todd Lebo. Todd, how are you?
Great.
Peter Yetinik is here.
He's ready today. He is ready.
You think so?
Yeah.
No, I'm not ready.
He's got that look in his eye.
I got nothing today.
He's got the look in his eye.
You've won, what, 2 straight now? So
I think I won last week.
Oh, did you win?
Did you?
I think I did. Wagers.
Pencil whipped?
I think I got a good wager.
Okay. I started a scorecard to save all the results. So
okay.
I gotta.
I see some interns here.
Well, I got the feud updated. I got to update here. Yes, I'm gonna have to make the interns go back for the last 20 years.
Get through the
score everything
pads.
else.
Let's
get
go.
through the legal pads. Start figuring it out. This is what's going to make you a success in broadcasting. Busy work for a tubby guy with a mic.
That's right.
That's what's gonna put you over the top. Sterling's here too.
Yeah.
You hear him on the zone, hopping around, one-legged.
My right leg's getting very strong.
Oh, yeah.
Very strong.
He's so swole.
Yeah.
He had Soren's used to legs. I mean, in the last couple of weeks.
Not sure where that's. I don't even know how.
That was Fat Jack.
Oh,
I mean,
legs are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello.
Callback.
Hello.
So
Okay.
probably a phrase I shouldn't have said, so I'm not even going to explain it.
I was calling you leggy, like you had nice legs.
All right.
Meh, no,
Up
that
first,
wasn't it.
Petro with a question.
All right, here we go, boys. I got a couple. You want the harder or the easier first? What do you want?
Todd first.
No, let's go hard first.
Go hard first? Okay.
Easy
Here we go. This is, I've got, what do I have here? Am I going all the way through this? I think I am going all the way through this. Did I? Yeah, I'll make sure. Okay, get it. I got it alphabetized. All right, so there have been some 26 players. I'm looking for any of the top 26 players, so basically anyone who's hit more than 144 home runs in their career. This is in honor of, you'll figure it out pretty quick, any one of the top 26 home run hitters in Major League Baseball history to be born in Puerto Rico.
Lebo.
Puerto Rico. Todd Lebo.
Carlos Beltran.
Carlos Beltran
Who's
is
born
the
in Puerto
jumping off
Rico?
point for this. So Carlos Beltran
Stu.
is actually number 2 on this list. It's
Lebo.
Pete. Hang on, Pete. Hang on, I need to put Stu over Curtis because I made this out Sunday and didn't know he was off. So Lebo's in, Pete's up, Stu, and then
Where
Todd.
did Alex Rodriguez?
A-Rod was born in Miami. That's
Stu.
right. Stu and then Todd.
Jose Ramirez.
Jose Ramirez, no, is not from Puerto Rico. Todd.
Lindor.
Francisco Lindor is on this list at number 18 all time.
No, I don't think.
I'm
going to try Carlos Baerga.
You can buzz in whenever you want. I'll get you. Try. Okay, hang on. Carlos Baerga, not. No, Stu.
Andres Galarraga.
Venezuelan.
No, Venezuelan. All right, let me give you some clues.
Okay.
Two strikes.
Puerto Rican.
So happy for Carlos Beltran to join this club. This guy could spit.
Lebo.
Todd.
Robbie Alomar.
Lebo. There you go. Who? Pete?
I was in there, but I'm not going to get this. Rocky Colavito?
No. You got
Sandy Alomar?
Sandy Alomar is not out that high. No. Nice try. We've got a couple of former Royals.
26.
One that liked a gun show. Stu.
Jose Guillen.
Jose Guillen. No, and you got to be striked out by now.
Yeah.
Gun show for the Royals. Used to roll the sleeves up. There's
Lebo Juan Gonzalez? No.
He is. That's not who I was talking about. But yes, he is there. Go ahead, Pete. You got
Orlando Cepeda?
Orlando Cepeda. There you go. So Todd 4, Pete 1.
How many did Stu get?
60.
Stu
Zero.
got nothing.
Okay. I don't know. I'm bad with countries. I didn't know this was geography.
Stu, just be happy there. I'm always there.
You got at least Orlando Cepeda.
But zeros.
Who's got the most?
So here you go.
Here we go.
Number 1 on the list is Carlos Delgado with 473. I don't have them ranked by order, but the other ones you didn't get. The big names you didn't get: Javier Baez, Roberto Clemente, Carlos Correa, Jose Cruz, both of them. Sixto Lizcano.
Sixto.
I had a good clue for him, but I didn't get to it. Javi Lopez, Jorge Posada, Ivan Rodriguez, Ruben Sierra, Bernie Williams, Danny Tarnable. Rolled the sleeves up.
Yes.
The gun show. And I also had Benito Santiago.
I love Santiago. How did I forget
another
that
former
one?
Royal.
Oh, you
so,
just seem to forget a lot of them.
I forgot all of them. Where they were from.
All right, Stu.
Okay. In honor of Pete.
Oh, no, Stu. Don't. Todd does this.
Yeah.
The 1961-62 NBA season was absurd. Just great stars all around.
Okay.
The MVP voting was crazy that year. Just a star-studded list. There's 8 guys on the MVP voting list.
Who got a vote?
Who got a vote?
61-62?
61-62.
Petro.
Chamberlain.
Yes, he goes second.
Okay.
Did not win with 50 and
Todd, me, and then Pete.
Bill Russell, probably.
He won that year.
He didn't deserve it. I'm going to go Pettit.
Pettit was 6th.
Elgin Baylor.
He was 4th.
Lebo.
Petro.
Bob Cousy.
Yeah.
Bob Cousy was 8th. He got 3 votes. Petro. There's 2 left.
Enoch.
West.
West. He was 5th. 1 left.
Neil Johnson.
No.
Petro. I'll try.
I don't think he was getting this one.
How about a hint? You
Give us
can't
a
give
hint.
I'd have never heard this guy.
Initials.
Where?
RG.
Oh, Richie Guerin.
There you go.
And it got it. Nice. So Bill Russell won that
That's only
year.
7, though.
That's 8.
We'll rattle off what they were, and somebody's got to claim an extra. Pete must have got 4.
Actually,
Did you get
someone
4, Pete?
take that back. Someone's forgetting a very historic player in this year. The most historical thing happened this year. This player.
Well, he started with Petro Chamberlain.
No,
Nope. I got named.
That's what I thought.
Most historical thing.
Yeah, up to this point.
What's his initials?
What's the initials?
The Big O.
Oscar Robertson.
Oscar Robertson averaged a triple-double that year. He got third.
The Big O is not exactly initials.
Yeah, but Wilt Chamberlain averaged 50 and
points,
25 and did not win MVP.
Well, he wasn't Bill Russell.
Don't get me started.
So does Pete have 4 points or 5 points?
Yeah.
Does Pete have 4 or 5, Petro?
Don't even. Yeah, I know what you're doing. You're picking at that scab. Don't even start on Bill Russell's crap.
Does Pete
I
have
gave
4
you
or
his
5
jersey.
right
I know, and I got it autographed.
now? Does Pete have 4 or 5?
Pete has 4.
Okay,
I have
right
Pete for 4, you for 6, and me for 3. We usually do that after 4
Does
rounds.
Sterling have any points yet?
No.
I was just
I
checking.
haven't had a chance to get back on the board.
Okay,
Come
are you
on.
ready?
What is this? Fact
You can
or
ask me
fiction?
as long as that is the case, you can ask me anytime.
All right, here's the deal. We got the
I stayed long
NFC
for you boys.
Championship game coming up here between the Rams and the Seahawks.
Okay.
I want you to name me a coach who has coached a postseason game for either one of those franchises.
Petro. McVay.
Sean McVay.
Petro.
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah.
Pete Carroll.
Repeat the question, please.
Who has
Petro.
coached a playoff game for either the Seahawks or the Rams?
Petro. George Allen.
Enoch.
No.
No?
Pete Carroll.
We already said Pete Carroll.
Oh.
By the way, there aren't many Seahawks coaches.
Yeah, I know.
Mostly Rams. It goes all the way back, old Rams.
God, I'm trying to
take it way back.
Son of a gun.
No, it's not.
Petro.
it's not
John
Bing
Robinson.
Crosby.
Stu.
Yes,
Yes.
John Robinson.
Stu. Jeff Fisher.
No, never made the playoffs for the Rams.
Really?
Yeah.
Petro. Mike Holmgren.
Mike Holmgren, yes.
Stu.
Pete, then Stu.
Norm Van Brocklin.
Nope.
Dick Vermeil.
Dick Vermeil won a national
yeah,
or a
damn it.
title. Stu's on the board.
That sucks.
Put him on the board. Yes.
Get your Rams back in the 60s and 70s.
Oh, George Allen.
There we go.
That's who I meant.
Yeah.
I didn't.
You
What did
said
I
the
say
wrong-
the first time?
You said some other old
You said
dude.
George Burns.
Oh, damn
No,
it,
it wasn't Burns. But
That's
it was
who I
something
meant. I
like
meant
that.
George Allen.
I
the
thought
over
you
the
were
hill.
thinking about the other guy. How about here's a hint. One guy coached in the postseason for both teams. Oh, another old guy. Maybe a Hall of Famer.
Oh my God! Who?
Which where you keep all the gold.
Jim Knox.
Chuck Knox.
Chuck Knox.
Good job, Pete. God, how did I forget Chuck Knox? I got to be missing
Some
some
other
other Ram
it's
one.
not-
There's other Rams. And there's the guy who's going to be coaching Sunday.
Mike McDonald?
Mike
You're too late.
Yeah, too late.
Too late. Mike
Damn it.
McDonald. No one got Mike Martz. Went to the Super
Mike
Bowl.
Martz.
Ray Malavasi.
That's
to
what I
the
was
Super
trying.
Bowl.
I got hung up trying to remember Ray
His kid played
Malavasi.
Sid
for you.
Gilman?
Yeah. Oh, God.
Come on, Hampton Poole, Joe,
I should have
Joe
known.
Stidhar, Clark Shaughnessy,
Stidhar,
Adam
yeah.
Walsh. You knew all those.
No,
Pete.
Jeff Fisher's went 8-8 every year.
Yeah, he never.
I
made
should have known
postseason
that.
for
Yeah. Pete, what do you got?
Let's hope that I pronounce this right.
Probably not.
In the annals of
That, you got
local
that right.
sports-
I'm glad
Don't
you got
say it
that
again.
right.
I'm
Don't say
really
it
happy
again.
about that. I want to know who is Dumpy Bowles. That's his name. I'm sorry, that's his name. Who is
Lebo.
Dumpy Bowles?
Is it
Stu.
Major League umpire?
No.
Stu. A major league catcher from 1893.
No. If you listen to the station, he's got a connection.
Oh.
Dumpy Bowles.
Petro, what is the name you guys call me when I'm on vacation? Hey, I got it right? No.
Stu.
Who's
he's
Curtis Seabolt?
He has done old time radio hits.
No.
Okay.
He does have. I mean, you would, if you listen to this station,
Lebo.
you would hear.
Who is the guy who sang the jingles for WHB back in the day?
No, but in the same vein.
Okay,
so to
what was
speak.
it?
He was a Kansas City Star reporter.
Oh,
This
really?
guy was
Dumpy Bowles.
Dumpy.
Yeah.
He wrote "I'm a Jayhawk."
Oh,
wrote the
really?
song,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Dumpy Bowles.
As we turn the corner, Pete has 600, Todd has 600, Stu has 100.
Good for him.
And I have 700. We got quite a game going
Yep.
right here. So There's a connection here. You'll figure it out along the way. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I want you to name, and I went down. I could have cut it off at 22 because that would have cut it off at 1,000. But I like the name that's 23rd. It's one that Pete should get. Okay.
Why isn't I finished last every time, and
You're
everybody always goes,
killing
Pete ought to
Stu
get
right
this.
now. You're crushing me, dude.
I want you to name any one of the 23 USC Trojans that in the NFL passed for 800 career passing yards or more. Okay? And you can guess that they're probably all quarterbacks except for the guy who comes in at 23. So we start. Todd, Stu, Pete. Go ahead, Todd.
Carson Palmer.
Carson Palmer is there. You bet he is.
Matt Leinart.
Matt Leinart is there. There's one each of you was. Pete and then
Pat
Todd.
Hayden.
Pat Hayden is there. Yes. Okay, back to Todd and then Stu.
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold is there. Well done. Yeah,
Caleb Williams.
Local ones. Caleb Williams is there. Yes.
Stu.
Hang on. Lebo. Enoch Stu.
I got
Hang on.
Mark Sanchez.
Mark Sanchez is there. Enoch.
Bob Waterfield.
Lebo.
Bob Waterfield is not there. He must not have gone to USC.
Hey, don't cut me,
No,
Lebo.
I'm in front of you.
No, you already went in front of me. I said it earlier.
No, it's Stu and then Lebo.
Kurt Warner.
He said it before
He
that.
didn't go to USC.
Kurt Warner did not.
No, that's
Northern
terrible.
Iowa.
Pete.
He went to
Did,
Northern Iowa.
did Matt Barkley get to 800 yards?
Matt Barkley sure did. 2,700. You're there. Nice job. There's another one for Todd. Let's see.
Lebo.
Yeah.
Rodney Pete.
There's a Chief on this list. Yeah, Rodney Pete's
Lebo.
there. Yep.
I'm going to mess the Chief up. I'm not going to say it. I'm out.
Stu.
There's a pothead. Go ahead, Stu.
Oh, Enoch.
Pete.
Marijuanovich.
There you go. Good, Stu.
I forget. Damon Heward.
No.
He went to Washington.
Damon Heward went to Washington.
But he was born in Puerto Rico.
You did not get Pete Beathard, Rudy Buckich, Matt Castle. Jackson Dart, I would have accepted because he started there.
Did he really?
Yeah. Vince Evans, Jim Hardy, Rob Johnson, Cody Kessler, Paul McDonald, Bill Nelson, Mike Ray, Sean Salisbury, Dennis Shaw, and Pete, the non-quarterback, who threw for 823
Mike
yards
Garrett.
in the NFL.
Oh, no. No.
Frank Gifford.
Oh, really?
really?
Good
Wow.
job. Good question.
I forgot
Good
Vince Evans went to
God, they've had a lot of guys throw balls.
Yeah, they have, haven't they? It's good. We'll move on. We don't want to get into the annals of that anymore.
Well,
good job. Or Stu, I'm sorry.
Speaking of throwing, pitchers to throw multiple no-hitters.
Petro.
Enoch.
Lebo.
I'll start with Nolan Ryan.
Yep, number one.
Bobo Newsom.
Let me go down this list.
You're usually best to alphabetize them. Makes it easier.
That would be way better.
Petro.
No, not Bobo Newsom.
Johnny Vandermeer.
Yes.
We pitched two of them. Enoch.
Lebo.
Now I forgot what the hell we're doing here.
No hitters.
No hitters.
You said Nolan Ryan.
I know. I'm now I draw. Go on.
He's left-handed.
Go on.
Koufax.
Yes.
Yes. Damn it.
You got the sneak in front of me. Lebo. Steve Busby.
Yes.
Yeah. Good.
Petro.
Yeah. Give me a sec here. I'm
Lebo.
stuck on trying to think of this
Lebo.
one guy.
Roy
I need to get him out of my
Halladay?
head.
Roy Halladay.
Yeah.
There's some big names.
Petro. Mike Scott.
one.
Mike
Perfect game.
Scott has not.
Lebo. Did Roger Clemens? He never.
No,
He did not.
He didn't even
throw
throw one. I don't think.
I'm still sulking
Lebo.
over Bobo Newsom.
Fernando Valenzuela.
No.
Just one. Keep trying.
Petro. Randy Johnson.
Yeah.
Yes, Randy Johnson did.
God, I cannot think of this one guy.
There's a lot of
Enoch.
big names.
Bob Gibson?
No.
No, he didn't.
Why am I drawing such a blank?
I mean, this is
Unbelievable.
Oh my God!
There's
Who was
some
the
huge
son
names.
of a? Who started started for the A's in the 14 wild
Mike
card?
Fears.
No, for the
Or Fires.
no,
John Lester.
John Lester. That's who I
Not,
couldn't
he
think of.
never in it, so.
Yeah, he did. He threw one against the Royals and he
Might
threw
have
one
been
for
the
the
only
Red Sox.
one.
No, I
Bobo
think your
Newsom
list.
threw two in one
I think
year.
your list sucks.
Well, sorry, it's Nolan Ryan, Sandy Koufax, Justin Verlander, who threw 3, Bob Feller threw 3, Cy Young, Larry Cochran in 1980, Mike Fires, Jake Arrieta, Scherzer, Lincecum, Homer Bailey, Roy Halladay, Mark Burley,
He was
Randy
in,
Johnson, Hideo Nomo,
Wonderful Life.
Bob Forsch, Steve Busby, Bill Stoneman, Ken Holtzman, Don Wilson, Jim Maloney, Jim Bunning, Warren Spahn, Virgil Trucks, Vandermeer.
Almost said one.
Look up
Christy Mathewson.
Look up Bobo Newsom. Somebody, please.
I mean, this goes back to the 1800s.
No, so what you got caught on, Bobo Newsom tosses no through 9, but loses in the 10th. They changed the rules because they threw out like Pasquale Perez. You didn't get screwed. I'm going to give you a point, Pete. I'm going to give you a point for
Nice
it.
job,
Because
Stu.
he did 2 in 1 year.
Yeah.
Sorry, blame Major League Baseball, not me.
I will. I'll blame him for a hell of a lot.
You guys ready?
All right, Todd. How about you? How about one that we might be able to answer?
Well, I got a whole bunch of answers on this.
Okay.
You ought to be able to get this.
Okay.
The Patriots. You heard of them?
a little bit.
Okay. I want you to name me someone who has scored at least 3 postseason touchdowns for the Patriots in their franchise.
Gronk.
Gronk's number 1 on the list.
Stu.
Petro's in, and then Pete.
I'm going to go Randy Moss.
No.
Oh, Petro.
Pete's in.
Gino Capoletti.
Nope.
Edelman.
No Julian Edelman.
Welker.
Wes Welker, correct.
Good job.
Petro. I'm going to go with White.
James White.
Petro.
correct.
Brady.
Good job.
Tom Brady, 6. Now he's remembering.
Is it receiving?
No,
it's
just
not
says
receiving.
scored a
Just
touchdown.
scored a touchdown.
3 touchdowns.
Stu.
At least.
Ramondre Stevenson.
No.
What?
Playoffs?
No. Oh, I was thinking the other guy.
Petro. Corey Dillon.
Corey Dillon, yes.
Oh, good job, Soren.
Who's the big dude?
William Perry.
I think one of these guys scored 2 of them at Arrowhead. I know he scored one important one.
Did any
Petro.
old-timers
Stanley
score?
Morgan.
He did from back in the 80s.
Who's the?
Have they got any would go past in my time?
Well, there's an older 70s guy. I've never heard of this guy. So I'll look this
Stu. Danny Amendola.
Yes.
Petro.
Good job.
Ben
Good job,
Coates.
Stu.
Petro.
Is that right?
Coates did not make
No?
it. Ben.
Ben.
Another Ben. I just
Ben
trying to get
Agajanian.
a lot of running backs on here. They just poured through running
Stu.
backs.
Aaron Hernandez.
No.
Petro. 27 who played for the Jets and,
You got
and
3
then
precincts.
the
Good
pit
enough.
guy.
That's not going to work.
It's
not gonna work.
Hold on. As long as I keep making noise.
No.
And don't take a breath. I'm still alive.
Who was the big running back that scored all the
LeGarrette
Blount?
Charles Martin. Curtis Martin.
Yeah, but you don't get him.
Oh, you stick it, Todd.
David Gibbons, Sony
LeGarrette
Michel,
Blount.
Deion Branch, Curtis Martin, Chris Hogan, Rex Burkhead. I think scored 2 here. Deion Lewis, Shane Vereen, Stephen Ridley, Jabbar Gaffney, Lawrence Maroney, Ben Watson, Asante Samuel, Troy
Watson.
Brown, Larry Guerin was an old guy.
I thought of Troy Brown. Like,
vaguely
he spanned
remember.
those 2, and I'm like, why didn't I put his name out there? I'm like,
Should have said it.
That's dumb. That was a
I
good
was
one.
I
like
was
that.
stuck on the big dude. Just
Okay.
blunt.
Yeah, just a big guy.
Just big blunts.
Peter.
The guy I'm thinking of did something at 6th and Delaware here in Kansas City. Who is he? What'd he do?
Lebo.
He didn't know. No, he didn't PP or anything like that.
The guy who wrote Kansas City.
No. That's Wilbert Harrison. He's from Cleveland.
At 6th and what?
6th and Delaware.
That's down. That's like on the river
What year?
market.
A long time ago.
He founded the plaza.
No.
Lebo.
That was
swam across the Missouri
Bill
River.
Nichols. And I should have a place in the
He
flag.
shot down Amelia Earhart.
Stu. He shot all the bullets. Pretty boy Floyd.
No, this man.
Okay, what we got?
I know it's a long time ago, but he deserves mention in history.
What was it?
His name was William Sutton. He scored the first 2 points in Kansas basketball history
Oh,
at
wow.
6th and Delaware.
Okay.
Okay,
So,
that's a
I
good
mean,
one.
In the
that's, you know,
streets?
All right. Let's
they-
tally the
they used to have a
scores.
YMCA there.
Was it a peach basket?
It's a YMCA.
Probably.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. We've got Stu with 500, Pete with 1,000, Todd and I have 1,400. What do we got for our category?
Your
One time
final
I get up there
category.
and you guys still kick my ass.
That's right.
Your final category is
Got
college
doubled.
football losers.
College football losers. You can get a free oil change at Big O Tires if you provide a question to Kyle for Final Chumps. Just send it to Kyle at 810WHB.com, and you can get a free oil change at Big O Tires. Don't forget to ask about their Healthy Car Special, $39.95. Includes conventional oil change, tire rotation, alignment check, brake check, and more. Just $39.95. Book your appointment today at BigOTires.com.
The program with Soren Petro.
There's 3 idiots sitting here, and Lebo walking by.
Weekdays from 2 to 6 on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
All right, listen up. Valentine's Day is right around the corner, and if you do not have a great Valentine's Day gift, no problem. Just get over to Joslin's Jewelry. Gary Joslin and his great staff can help you out. They've been in business for almost 50 years. They're experts on everything jewelry. You can go to one of those big box stores, and if you'd like to talk to a guy who was, selling mortgages a couple of weeks ago or was driving a truck, I don't know what they do. At Joslin's Jewelry, they're jewelers, real jewelers. They do repairs, done tens and tens of thousands of repairs at Joslin's Jewelry. Many of them they can do while you wait, and they have the best gift selection around. Whether you're looking for a pearl necklace, how about stackable necklaces? How about diamond stud earrings, tennis bracelets? How about those birthstone pieces, right? Find out the birthstone. They got hundreds to choose from in each birthstone, and of course, if it's that most important jewelry purchase, engagement rings, they've got almost 1,000 to choose from. Joslin's Jewelry has been in business for almost 50 years. They're right there on the southeast corner of 95th and Antioch. You can find them online at joslinsjewelry.com. The very best in jewelry. You're going to find it. Joslin's Jewelry. Voted the #1 jewelry store in Kansas City for a reason. See for yourself. Get to 95th and Antioch or find them online at joslinsjewelry.com. Joslin's Jewelry, the gold standard in fine jewelry.
Looking for the ultimate destination for sports, entertainment, and family fun? Welcome to Advent Health Sports Park at Blue Hawk. Experience world-class sports facilities, including an ice rink, turf field, and state-of-the-art courts. Plus, enjoy thrilling entertainment options like arcade games, laser tag, bowling, and sports simulators. And when you're ready to relax, head to our bar and grill. Advent Health Sports Park at Blue Hawk, where sports and entertainment collide.
At Subaru of Olathe.
All right, our LaFetta end of the hour answer to the question, what player holds the record for rushing yards in an AFC or NFC championship game?
Is it still the Dolphin? The Dolphin who was also a Seahawk?
Former Dolphin.
Yeah.
How about Timmy from the Redskins?
Lamar Smith?
No, it's conference championship game, not Super Bowl.
Ricky Williams? He did this as a Niner.
Oh, he did it as a Niner.
Waters?
But he was a Dolphin, too?
He played against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
Raheem Mostert?
Raheem Mostert. Oh, okay, wow.
So how many points do I get for that? All of them?
You get nothing.
I bet all my points for that one.
Good job. You get nothing. You get an attaboy.
Well, what could he have won?
You get good job, pal.
Yeah, an attaboy.
You know
All
what?
right.
I appreciate that.
In the category of college football losers, what do we got here, Kai?
All right, your final question. Now that Indiana is no longer the losingest program in college football history, which program now
Wait, are
holds-
we sure that's the case? Like, they could still be the losingest
No,
now.
I looked it up.
Oh, okay.
Somebody passed them this year. Who was it?
So just 2 years of being good sent somebody down to the bottom.
We know who was in third
Is
place.
this like all Division One? I mean, is it FBS?
D1, that's right.
Is
So
this
it's not
forever?
necessarily
Is the
BS.
streak still alive?
Yeah, this is it. The
Yeah,
losingest
who's the
program.
current worst?
Oh, no, hell no.
Can I see your pen when you're done?
Yeah, you didn't bring your pen in, did you?
Here, fool.
I gave him one.
Okay. All right. Hang on. All right, I'm ready. This is not going to pay off for me, I don't think. Stu, you were in dead last, sucker. What was your answer?
Kansas.
How much you bet?
$4.99.
Okay, he finishes with one. Pete?
I bet nothing, and I was going to say K-State, and that's not right, and I got nothing.
So did you say K-State or not?
I said nothing.
He said nothing. Okay, so you got 1,000. Todd?
I said Vanderbilt.
Vandy, that is wrong. What'd you bet?
Nothing.
You bet nothing. I said K-State. I bet nothing too.
Oh, we're tied.
Northwestern.
K-State was.
Is it Northwestern? And I didn't put it. Are you serious?
You're such an
you
idiot.
I
But
didn't
listen,
put it.
You could have bet everything you had and still not won.
I don't care.
No.
I put.
No, you're the loser of the show.
Hey, you're
I
pretty
knew it.
uppity for coming.
I can't believe that I didn't put the name of it and just put Kansas instead of Northwestern.
I can't believe you didn't bring a pen. I can't believe you were this bad at this game.
Yeah,
No
you
one
were-
can believe anything.
You were awful.
Look at this. Look at the.
I got the question right.
You were.
job,
It's
Pete.
time for you to go.
Pete
Well
kicked
done,
your
Pete.
ass.
Way to kick his ass, Pete.
You're welcome.
All right, how many head coaches have won a Super Bowl and had a 1-in-15 season? Brought to you by La Feta Delicatessen.
covers the Chiefs.
With that, time's yours.
And you're in that place where you're in the playoffs.
He covers the Royals.
Blair, over there in the middle on the left.
Salvador, just take us through your emotions.
He covers college sports.
But one great thing about the conference tournament, Blair, I think it gives teams hope.
And every now and then, he likes a good laugh.
Make 'em laugh, make 'em laugh. Don't you know everyone wants to laugh?
He's Blair Kirchhoff of the Kansas City Star on the program.
Comical one, they'll be standing in line for those old honky-tonk monkey shine.
Hour number 2 of the program begins right now as we welcome the great Blair Kirchhoff from the Kansas City Star. Our college insider is with us. He's brought to you by our friends at Art and Frame Warehouse. FrameKC.com, Kansas City's best when it comes to framing your sports memorabilia. It's the only place that I will take my sports memorabilia. Every single piece that I've ever had framed, I had framed at Art and Frame Warehouse. They'll deliver and install. Plus, they have a 100% lifetime guarantee on everything they frame. They've only had to honor that one time. I've never had to go back and ask for help, but I like knowing it's there. And I really encourage you to get that delivery and installation. When it comes to all your framing needs, nobody will frame it better. Whether it's your sports memorabilia or anything, than our friends at Art and Frame Warehouse. Michael and the staff are outstanding. See them in person at 92nd and Metcalf. Find them online at framekc.com. Blair, how are you, buddy?
Doing great. Hope you are too.
Yes.
Good.
I'm doing just dandy.
Well, sweet.
Our first chance to talk with you since Indiana won a national championship in football.
Wait, what?
That's right. It happened. It's a fact.
Football?
Football.
I think you're mistaken there, pal.
Sure feels like it, but no, it actually happened. To me, the biggest thing to ponder out of this, I mean, there's a lot of things to talk about what they did and what they did really well, but is this a moment in time? I related it to Syracuse winning a championship in 1959, which I think partially what was kind of unique.
Lacrosse? Or
no football.
Oh, they won football, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks. You knew that. And we won many in lacrosse.
That's right.
I think we still are.
Maybe have the most.
I think so. You know, the Big Tens are kind of getting serious about it, and some of the other ACCs. Johns Hopkins is really good, but I think we're still kind of the top dog there. We haven't been good enough lately. But anyway, enough about that crap. In '59, they had Ernie Davis.
Yeah.
And they were integrated, and they played a Texas team that was all white. And by the way, wouldn't integrate till 1970. And what year did Jim Brown? Because they had been Syracuse. That wasn't their first year having a black player on the team either for Syracuse in '59.
Speaking of lacrosse,
he's a great lacrosse player.
Yeah, Jim Brown. And
but Soren, you are correct. That is Syracuse with 10 plus 1 vacated.
10
lacrosse.
Yeah,
10,
and they vacated when I was there. Everything hit the fan. Yeah, the Gate brothers. We had these twin brothers who are considered the greatest lacrosse players to ever play. And we managed to cheat in lacrosse, keeping the Gate brothers.
That's how important it was.
And now one of the brothers is the coach of the team, Gary and Paul Gate. They were like a big deal. I was a freshman. I think they were seniors. And they would roll across campus. And it was like, oh, Gate brothers. I'm like, but let me tell you something. Lacrosse in season at that point did not take necessarily the greatest dedication.
Dude.
Never. If I was out, so were the Gate brothers. Either they timed it just when I was out, or they were out a lot. Because I didn't miss the Gate brothers being out and about. So, but anyway, but Syracuse in football in '59, they had Ernie Davis. I look at that and I look back and I'm like, how did that happen? And they've been a good football program for a while. And we've got 8 people in the Hall of Fame, so it's not like just
no, you're right.
It's a legit program, but we're not a national title contender. But at that moment, integration, and I probably if I dug in, we'd find some other things that were going on right then that was happening as to why that contributed to why that was like the perfect storm for them. Was this the perfect storm for Indiana, or is this the new norm?
Oh, maybe you can say that when Syracuse won its championship, that would be around the time. I'm trying to think of some others that Michigan State a few years later won or shared maybe a national championship with Bubba Smith, and schools that were integrating before the schools in the South seemed to have an advantage. Navy, right, with Roger Staubach and his some of those great teams of the early '60s. And then, of course, then the world changed. Things changed, and especially in the South. You move forward to the BCS era, and the rise of the SEC, where great athletes started staying home in that part of the country, and the competitiveness of Florida, Alabama, Auburn, great programs with great athletes, and now we've moved into a place where financially that's the driving force, that if you are willing to invest in your program, and
if you're able,
willing and able to invest in your program, and you happen upon a coaching genius, and in this case with Indiana, kind of a perfect storm. He brought along a lot of good players from his former program. Then I think we might be at a different inflection point in college football, where it doesn't matter what part of the country you're in, that teams in the climate disadvantaged can stand up if the right conditions are there. And it just seems more than ever, at least in our lifetime, not in our lifetime, but our adulthood, I guess, that you can create those conditions anywhere. There's no, not because the sun shines longer and it's warmer in certain parts of the country, is that necessarily an advantage anymore? Doesn't have to be.
Well, I think what's amazing, and I did this. Let me see if I got my results, because I have to sift through where I do with Shahan. I had it written down if you look at, and I'll see if I can open it up real quick. If you look at the, what do you call it, the money that all those schools sit on, what's that called?
The endowments?
The endowments. If you look at the endowments, and it should be one of my recent ones here. Hold on. Here it is. So if you look at the endowments, I just took one site. I'm going to do a better job of this. I want to look at this better than what I've done here, because I just picked one site. And if you Google someone's endowment, you will find 4 different sites have 4 very different numbers. Now, if they say somebody's got a lot, all of them say they got a lot, but how much they got, it varies depending upon the sites. But I just took one and said, okay, I'm going to take it all the way down. And here are the biggest endowments according to this one.
After the Ivy Leagues usually are close to the top.
And I took out those. Yeah, the Ivy Leagues are up there, and I took out those and just went with the ones that play football seriously. Right? Stanford, A&M, Michigan, Notre Dame, Duke, Northwestern, Vanderbilt, Virginia, Rice, USC, Ohio State, Texas. I don't like this one because I've seen Texas up much higher.
Like the University of Texas system is pretty. Maybe I think I've seen a list where they're below Harvard, Yale.
Yeah, it goes Harvard, Yale, Texas, Texas A&M is 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
But just off this list, this list will tell you that the Big Ten has 5 of the top 12, right? And then if you go on down from that, they have 10 of the top 20 and 12 of the top 24.
And the only SEC school I heard in there was Texas.
A&M in Texas.
Yeah.
And then you also hit at Vanderbilt.
Vandy, right.
Vanderbilt. They just don't feel like an SEC school, but they are. But those are the only 3.
Florida's not in there?
No, Florida's down at number 63 on this one. Florida's down below some of the Big 12 schools. Right, the highest Big 12 is BYU at 50. 50th overall at like $2.8 billion. So, and then the alumni base is the size of those Big Ten schools.
That's massive.
Yeah.
That's something we probably don't talk about enough. Is the Ohio State, the Michigan, the Indiana, Michigan State alumni bases, because their enrollments are so massive.
Right. Oh, they have lots and lots of graduates.
40 to 50,000. I mean,
one of the things that jumped to me is I said, who's comparable to Michigan in the SEC as far as success on the field? Probably maybe LSU's pretty close right about now.
Yeah.
Like when they get the coach right, they can win a national championship. If they don't, they can fall back. But that's pretty comparable. Well, Michigan, according to this site, their endowment is $18 billion. LSU's endowment, they're number 188 at $670 million.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know.
They are dwarfed. And it's not about but that endowment doesn't go into player payrolls. I know. That's not the point. The point isn't that they're going to spend all this money on payrolls. The point is if you have all that money, that's how much money your alumni,
Right.
your whatever is whoever's involved in your university has given you that much money. LSU almost filed for bankruptcy 15 years ago. Okay? It is, if this is going to be spend, and spending's what gets you there, the SEC will not hang with the Big Ten.
No, well, if you're
and I think that's why they're the ones that are like, we got to do something about this. After they were the ones that are like, we'll pay the kids, we're going to give them money.
Right.
When some schools are like, if we give these kids $3,000 spending money, we can't keep up. Remember that?
Well,
and the SEC's like, whatever it takes. And then you got lawmakers in SEC. Well, we'll let our guys pay whatever, like Missouri pay whatever. And now they're like, well, we're going to put some guardrails on this. Oh yeah, because you thought no one else could spend, and now you're like, oh wait a minute, these guys are the guys who really do have money.
Yeah, and this was and this came after the SEC was building the Taj Mahals of for their facilities that were speaking of LSU, they're ridiculous. I mean, in Texas A&M, I toured those, and it's phenomenal what they were doing 15, 20 years ago to in the arms race to keep up. But that's exactly right. That's what endowment reflects. It's the deepness of the pockets of your alumni, and if you take football seriously, if you really want to win and you go to those donors and say, this is what it's going to take, yes, there are schools in better position financially to do that than those in the Deep South.
Indiana's possessive, Mark Cuban, has garnered a lot of headlines because he is now making significant contributions. But it's the story behind where the money came around this year and going forward is they basically, they won last year and they went to all their alumni and said, listen, just throw us $10. Throw us $20. They had a massive grassroots campaign, and I'm sure Mark Cuban says it was sizable. So for me, for Mark Cuban to say sizable, it's somewhere between $1 and $10 million that he gave. Right? I don't know what it is, but it's in the millions. He doesn't say sizable for thousands.
No, right.
So it's in the millions. But when you have the largest alumni base in the country, if you can get 25% of your alumni base to give $10, you're swimming in money. And so if you mobilize your alumni, and those schools have massive alumni, they're going to dwarf what the SEC can do.
Let me. I'm gonna. If you got access to, you got Google right in front of you.
Yes, I do.
Google. I'm going to give you 5 letters. IPTAY. IPTAY.
IPTAY?
Yeah.
4 letters. Or IPTAY. 5 letters. Yeah. Good
see
job.
if it comes up. This was the donating philosophy of a certain ACC school long time ago.
Supporting the success of Clemson's student athletes in the classroom and on the field since 1934.
I pay $20 a year. It used to be I pay $10 a year. Then it was I pay $20 a year. That's what they asked their alumni to do.
I went to Indiana, around the corner from us, good friends of ours.
Pay up.
Yeah, I went to Indiana, around the corner from us, good friends of ours.
Pay up.
Yeah, get your checkbook, and also Whiskey's dad, our intern Whiskey from last summer.
Oh,
he's an IU guy.
Oh, how about that?
In fact, I think he even has the basketball warm-ups.
with the
vertical stripes.
Cane. Yeah.
I think that's part of his game day attire. Get your checkbook out.
Yep.
Okay. So
good for them. I don't know how you couldn't feel good for a program that, as you mentioned on your final chump stumping answer, the losingest program or the most losses.
Yeah.
Of any program to turn around and go 16-0 and win the national championship and be dominant about it too until the final game. But to destroy Alabama and Oregon along the way, that was so impressive.
To the credit, who gave us that question, Kyle?
Which question?
The final chumps?
Oh, Benjamin Blinn.
Benjamin. To Benjamin's point, which is a really good question, that Northwestern's there. The fact that Northwestern would fall down at this time, I mean, I guess if Indiana's been so good, that's respectable. But when you see how good Vanderbilt is, that is one of the things that is standing out to me is that Vanderbilt has money. They're an SEC school that has, they're an extraordinary school. They're they're Ivy League caliber academics. And so they have some grads that make big bucks.
Yep.
And so it's not a coincidence that now you can pay kids, and now Vanderbilt's really good in football and really good in basketball.
Yeah, and you mentioned...
And Northwestern has no excuse.
No, it doesn't.
Other than it's butt-numbing cold in the winter when that wind comes off the lake.
Yep.
I'm going to tell you, because I visited there with my daughter in the spring, and I was like, my God, I can only imagine what the dead of winter is going to feel like with this.
But it's in a great look. It's in
beautiful.
A great location in northern part of Chicago,
Evanston,
and beautiful in the spring and the summer. But so Vanderbilt being on that list is interesting because, to me, you mentioned some others on that endowment. Northwestern, Vandy, Rice was one. So schools.
Well, man, if Harvard wants to put some money at it, like I really think the Ivy League could be like, wait a minute, this is how we're going to play this?
You're going to do this?
Well, hold my beer.
Right? You really want to do this?
We're going to start kicking some ass. Right. I really think like Harvard announced today they're building a 75,000 seat stadium in anticipation of what their $200 million payroll will be.
Yes. But Vandy.
They're building a dome at Yale. Yale says not good enough. A retractable roof dome with a field that slides out at a cost of $3 billion is being built by Yale.
Of course, back in not the last century, but the century before that, Harvard and Yale were right at the top of
these
things, right?
Yes.
They were the first to build the 75,000-seat stadiums. But the fact that Vanderbilt is now part of the nouveau riche of college football tells me, they're in a conference where they have seen football excellence for so long and have not been part of it, and you can decide to be part of it and have just based on they beat Alabama 2 years ago, and this year they had another great season. I forgot who but they beat a couple of the traditional powers. Northwestern absolutely can be that, and Rice maybe to an extent. Just they don't live in that world of high level. They're in. Not Conference USA, but whatever the conference they're in.
They're either in. I think they're in the American.
American, yeah.
Yeah, I've got them broken down by conferences over
here.
Yeah, so.
I can't keep up anymore. But those schools are in a position if if they want to, if it's important enough, and it is to. We know it is to Vanderbilt.
But when I looked, I was like, by the way, Oklahoma State number 200, LSU 188, Mississippi State 181, South Carolina 176, Ole Miss 154.
How about the locals?
The locals on this list came in at Kansas was 61 at 2.4. I was surprised Missouri wasn't higher. Missouri's 100 at 1.4, and Kansas State is 142 at 952 million.
Okay. Now this list includes, like we said, all the Ivies.
Yeah, like it doesn't go 1, 2, 3, 4. It goes 3, 7, 8, 9, 11, 14, 16. I've got where they rank nationally, not where they rank amongst this list.
Yeah.
So there are plenty of schools, Emory,
MIT.
Yes, MIT that are there, and on down other schools where you're like, oh boy, they spent some money.
That's right.
You're like, where'd that come from? It's an interesting little read, but I do think. And I get it. And who was it? Randy Gisarelli said. He said Europe loves their government ruthlessly socialistic, and their sports ruthlessly capitalistic.
Well,
here we like our government ruthlessly capitalistic, and our sports ruthlessly socialist.
I like that.
Like, neither one of them lives up to what they think their standard is of how they want things to run and how they do their sports.
Right.
Man U has a $500 million payroll. Screw you. Tough. Right? But, hey, healthcare for everybody. Sure. That works. Not here. We're going to do it this way. But what's with the Yankees and the Dodgers spending? We can't have the Giants out spending.
That's right.
It is amazing. And college football right now is ruthlessly capitalistic in how they're running themselves.
Yes.
Which is different than all the other sports, other than baseball, which is that. But they do a taxation on the bigger. I think like on Kyle Tucker's contract, every dollar they pay him, they will also pay into the luxury tax. That's how far into the penalty they are.
Wow.
They're going to pay Kyle Tucker over $100 million, and this isn't even a $68 million bonus. I can't remember what it was, but they will give him more than $100 million cash this year.
So it's going to be why that'll be why there's no baseball 2 years from now. And
because Hal Steinbrenner's had enough.
Yes, that's right. Done. He's done.
Yeah,
done with it. But
it's basically like the Koch brothers going, we got to do something about this making money crap. Right when Hal Steinbrenner, It's like what I don't know where they rank up there. They're way up there in the billions. It's not like Elon Musk has gotten out of hand.
That's right.
I'm only worth $40 billion. We gotta do something about this. That's the equivalent of Hal Steinbrenner and the Yankees bitching about the Dodgers.
And isn't it funny how we
gotta tax these people.
Even with that, nobody really hates the Dodgers, but they still hate the Yankees.
they will grow to hate the Dodgers.
Yeah, they're becoming that.
I think the Kyle Tucker signing is probably the tipping point.
Could push it over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But, I do think that's where college sports is headed. And I think a lot of people don't like that. Everyone who doesn't in one of the big money teams definitely don't like it. But
what it means now is if Indiana can get this good and Vanderbilt can get good like this, then Georgia all of a sudden can't have the NFL backup guy, you know?
Yeah.
And so that flattens out college football at the top a little bit.
In a way, doesn't it make it all about academics now?
How so?
Well, because if you had great academics, you graduated some people that are a bunch of billionaires, and they're funding it. And so past academic achievements equals current football success.
I like that.
So really, we're making it about academics.
Yes, right. Returning to its original.
Because I don't remember Mark Cuban dunking at Indiana.
Correct.
Or getting loose for a touchdown down the field.
Nope.
He was a smart guy. He did some smart things. Now they're winning because of that.
Yes.
So it's all about academics.
I like that.
Yeah, we've come full circle. Blair Kirchhoff is with us. He's brought to you by our friends at Art and Frame Warehouse. You can find him online at framekc.com.
All right, our LaFeta end of the hour answer to the question, how many head coaches have won a Super Bowl and had a 1-in-15 season?
Won a Super Bowl. Well, Jim Johnson.
Jimmy
did it. He went 1-15 his first year with the Cowboys.
He's one of them.
He's one of them, so I'm going to say more than one. Thanks, Curtis, for giving away part of it. 1-15. I think George Seifert had one with the Carolina Panthers when he came back, right?
He is the second, and there are only two.
Two.
George Seifert, 86 today.
Nailed it.
Was Chuck Noll 1-13 with the Steelers his first year?
Ooh, I don't know. I mean, it was probably pretty rough because they were a god-awful franchise when he took them.
Late 60s,
Yeah, George Seifert came back with the Panthers for 1 year, and they went, you know who his quarterback was, too?
Who?
With the Carolina Panthers when he went 1-15. He won 2 championships with the Niners.
Yeah.
Took over for Bill Walsh. Won the second of back-to-backs.
He won one with Montana and one with Young.
One with Young. And then he retired. Then I don't know if he got fired or retired. I can't remember how it worked. Anyway, he got the Carolina job. And Chris Wenke
Oh, my God.
was his quarterback,
Chris
the 28-year-old Heisman Trophy winner from Florida State.
Yes.
That's who they started. At least they went into the year with Chris Wenke.
You know who the runner-up for that Heisman was? I bet you get it if you thought
Hang
about
on.
it.
What year? Remind me.
2000.
Michael Bishop? No. Hang on.
His team won the national championship.
2000.
Yep.
Boy, that's right after I kind of quit paying attention to every single year, or quit quizzing myself on what every year was. What am I forgetting? 2000. His team won the national championship.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure I've got this right. I mean, Winky won it, and I thought this guy should have won it. And if you took it after the national championship, he would have won it. Josh Heupel.
Josh Heupel. Oh, okay.
Oklahoma quarterback.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Josh Heupel. That's right. That was OU's championship year under
Stoops.
I don't know why I couldn't remember that. That you should stand out to me. And they're 5'7", 190-pound fat running back.
Yeah.
What was that kid's name? Was it Adrian or more like 43 or 45?
I know who you're talking. I can see him.
But now you think about Josh Heupel, it was like Tubby to Tubby was part of their championship.
That's right.
Josh Heupel has not hit the way. He is not Dan Campbell.
No. He's not stayed in shape. The face.
The dude.
Chin.
Like, what was it? What's the line from Tommy Boy? Well, someone's like, I know what it is. Does this jacket make me look fat? No, your face does. That's Heupel.
That's right.
Does this bright orange raincoat I'm wearing here make me look fat? No, it's your face. And the orange ain't helping. I'll give you that right now. And let me just tell you, I got a lot of blue Syracuse gear. All right, that's all I'm going to say. Tennessee's got orange and white, and white ain't much better than orange. He got nowhere to hide. So there you go. We're talking to Blair Kirchhoff here in the program. We just gave away La Feta Italian Delicatessen, voted Kansas City's #2 brand new restaurant by the Kansas City Star. We love them. Great people, locally owned and operated. You can go check them out. Their gourmet sandwiches are to die for, plus their charcuterie boards. They're happy to cater as well. They do everything fresh. Everything is fresh, so don't call them up and say, I need sandwiches for $40. Well, they're not going to have the bread. They're not going to have the meats. You give them 24, 48 hours on those bigger orders, and they will make sure that they've got enough fresh bread, enough fresh ingredients, enough wonderful meats, cheeses, sauces, everything made to order. It's at La Feta. They're on the southeast corner of 143rd and Metcalf. Blair, the K-State Wildcats.
Got to win.
It's all fixed.
Yep, got a nice win.
It's all fixed.
Over the Utes.
What do we make of the fact that they had 2 very winnable games and they only got one of them?
Yeah. So Saturday they go down to Oklahoma State and lose in a heartbreaker with just a kind of a brain dead final few seconds, fouling. If I remember this right, they fouled. They get 2-point lead. Mm-hmm. Foul a guy shooting a 3 with about 2.8 seconds to go, and that was Bashir, their good 3-point shooter, who's no longer not with him because he's hurt now. That was a total giveaway loss for them, and glad to see him come back and win. And I thought, after they beat Utah, I was thinking if they had won at Stillwater and beaten Utah, how different would you feel about them going into, give them a really nice chance to beat KU for all the issues that Jerome Tang and this program has had the last couple of years. They have found a way to beat Kansas and Bramlage, and they could lean on that. And still, look, that opportunity is still there for them, and I expect it to be an intense game like they always are in Bramlage. K-State could come out with a win, but you just still don't feel great about where they are right now.
And they've got Kansas coming up next, and they're a double-digit dog.
Are they?
At least they were. It was 10.5.
Oh, wow.
Was the early line that was put out there. Now Peterson and the ankle and everything like that may change
self
that.
And the heart.
self, yes. He was on Hawk Talk last night. And
did a press conference today.
Yeah, it looks like, it's all okay, precautionary and everything, but that's still scary.
It is, and he said, of course, it was just dehydration, severe dehydration, but he felt chest pains.
I reached for my water.
Yes, as you, and I got a cup here myself. So, stay hydrated out there, But look, K-State, I don't know what. It just doesn't feel like it's going to. They didn't do enough in the non-con to have one of those. Okay, if you break even in the Big 12 this year, you'll be in the tournament. You might have to be, 10-8 or 11-7, because that means if that's the case, you will have beaten a lot of really good teams, probably some tournament teams along the way, starting with Kansas on Saturday. So it's just the question becomes, would Kansas State tolerate 3 years in a row not in the NCAA tournament with this coach?
$18 million.
I know. It's pretty smart contract by his agent.
And I get it. I get what Gene Taylor was doing. Like, he had been to the Elite Eight, then he was out of the tournament. Right? They had already given him an extension after the Elite Eight. They give him another one because Arkansas comes calling. But what it was, like, the base salary is not that high. It's in the 3 and change, I want to say. What they did was basically make it to where you're going to get it all. Like, you can go for $6 million to Arkansas, but you might only be there 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, you're going to get it all here because we're not buying. The buyout's so big, you're going to get a chance to build it and raise your kids here and put down roots and not feel like you got to be looking over your shoulder all the time. I understand why Gene Taylor did it. I mean, it was not. Nobody was screaming and yelling. We talked about it. I do remember talking about, like, well, this means they're married, right? Because I don't see K-State coming up with it. And then I forgot how big the numbers were. Like, as I talked about last week, pulled the wrong contract that had it at $13 million. Well, 2 years from now, it's still $13 million.
Yeah. Well, but it's also didn't you pull it up and we
they can reassign him
in the athletic department
and pay him what they're paying him now.
Yes,
but it doesn't get any shorter on the buyouts.
No.
And I think that is
but then you can negotiate them.
Yeah, I think that's like, what do you want to do? Do you want to be a desk jockey for $3 million a year? Like, we'll do it because it's cheaper than what we got to do, or do we want to find a number at like $8 to $13 million that you'll take and we can get to and walk.
And then have Scott Drew hire him, back on the staff at Baylor.
Yeah,
something like that.
Well, yeah, and that then, and if you get a settlement, I assume that would eliminate all the offset language.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
But they're going to hire him as an assistant coach at what, $400,000 or $500,000 if you just do it. So that's going to offset $400,000 per.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm interested. I wonder how that works if you do that, and because the $18 million has to be paid out over 20. Well, at least the older contract said you had to pay it out over 24 months. So does it just offset for 2 years?
I wonder.
Or does it offset for, well, we've got 6 years of your salary we're paying here, so it offsets for all 6? Even if you get fired? I'd be like...
It's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah, it'd be for lawyers to figure out. It's a lot of money no matter what it is. And Darren Peterson, it looks like everything's starting to click, and then he sprains his ankle.
Yes. Then he turns his ankle. Yeah, plays 31 minutes in altitude, in Boulder. And isn't the star of the game, right? I mean, Melvin Council with that sequence of and the fortunate call that Kansas got, really turned the game.
What are you talking about? He was in bounds.
What?
Do you know for a fact? Do you have to reestablish position? I know you do. Well, I know you do to catch the ball.
Well,
to tip the ball.
The only thing I saw, I didn't see it live, and so I don't know. Did they go to the monitor? Did the officials go to the monitor? They didn't go to the monitor, so I couldn't tell watching it on replay whether his foot was still out of bounds when the ball hit his hand.
I'm not sure that the replay showed his feet.
Oh, well, that's I couldn't determine that, but incredible, awareness to get his arm up to deflect the inbounds pass. But I thought if his foot wasn't out of bounds, it was dangling over the out of bounds, which isn't.
Well, I know to catch the ball, you have to get both feet back in bounds. So if you're out, you got to get boom, boom.
Well, I don't think that was the case.
I don't know. But he tipped it first, so that's what I'm saying. Is there different on a tip
to get control?
I'm assuming no. I'm assuming that if you then control like that, that's what I don't know because. And then I might be even remembering the play wrong because I haven't looked at it since then because I didn't think it was like, this is the only reason Kansas won. So I didn't feel compelled to, all right, let's figure out where it is. So I probably should have spent more time trying to look back at it again, but I didn't. But yeah, like I see Kansas starting to come together as long as they can keep Peterson on the floor and get the minutes together, and they look like they might be,
yeah.
I mean, they've got a stretch here where they could very easily go 3-0 and be 5-2 and quite possibly just one game out at that time because there's some tough games for the
with the teeth
boys
of their
up top.
schedule coming. Yeah,
the two up top that are undefeated we were looking at, and they've got some tough. They've each got one tough game. If they would each lose that one tough game, then Kansas would just be one back in the loss column.
Well, I know that Arizona and BYU play like Monday night, which I can't wait. That'll be a great game. But Kansas starts playing those teams too after
they all of them are going to start running into each other.
February is going to be.
Which I assume they did that on purpose. Like this is what we think the best teams are. Let's fatten our records, and then it'll be when we lose. When our number 4 team loses, it's to number 8, or number 12.
Yeah.
Was this designed?
Could have been. I know that Kansas and Arizona play twice, and both of them are after in February. Or one's February, one's March. Their other two are Iowa State and K-State, the teams they play twice, and they've already played Iowa State.
Was that TV saying, we got football over here, but we're going to need some good games at the end? Like if I look at every conference, we're going to find that the ACC's backloaded like that. We know the Duke UNC is always like that.
Always twice late, yeah.
Well, I just can't imagine anybody in TV could figure out who was going to be good.
Right, well, except...
They're usually, I know they can't in the NFL, because all you got to do is look at the Monday night schedule, and you're like, well, it's a playoff team. I know, but they were barely a playoff team, and they lost this guy,
right.
and like, what are you doing with this? This team's going to suck. Yeah, right. Come on.
Well, a good test for that, and I don't know, and Kansas fans would know this, I don't know it off the top of my head, is when they play BYU, because Devanza and Peterson going, I think that has a chance to be the most interesting game in college basketball this year. Did it get like a Monday night treatment, or is it a Saturday on CBS? Or
it gets, I will tell you here in one moment, KU and BYU are on the 31st. What's today? Today's 22, so that's a Saturday on the 31st. So then Sunday's the 1st? Yeah, because the Super Bowl's on the 8th. That's right. Then they only play the once.
Yeah, it's just one.
The Arizona games are the 9th. That's a Monday.
Yeah.
And
I think
the
it's the
28th, 16, 23 would be a Monday, so 24, 25, 26, that's a Saturday.
Okay, yeah.
So they play on a Monday and a Saturday.
Those are the two places you want to be. I mean,
Iowa State on the 14th, KU at Iowa State on the 14th would be...
Oh, that's going to be a war.
That would be a Saturday as well.
That's Valentine's Day on Saturday, yep.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah. But it's interesting how they put, the teams that we thought when they do the schedule, the basketball schedule is done in the summer, and by then you kind of know the roster and who's going to be good. You think you're going to be good, and I think there is a lot of strategy as to putting the games away from closer to the back of the schedule, just because to get away from football, to get away from the NFL, and it looks like that's what they've done.
Yeah, they've done it, and it's going to make for some great games coming down the stretch.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll talk about the Missouri Tigers next here in the program. Blair Kirkhoff's with us. He's brought to you by our friends at Art and Frame Warehouse. Find him online at framekc.com. Yeah, okay. I'm ready. Okay. And doesn't matter what I go since we're doing it early. Okay. Coming down in 3, 2, 1. All right, listen up. Roberts Robinson Chevrolet GMC is the only place to go to buy your car, your truck. Right now, they've got a lifetime powertrain warranty on all new vehicles. You heard me right. It's only available at a few KC GM dealerships, and Roberts Robinson has it. Don't settle for a 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty. Get the lifetime powertrain warranty. Covered component parts include engine, transmission, transfer case, drive axle, fluids, and filters. Listen, this warranty ensures repair or replacement of any covered powertrain component that fails for as long as you own your vehicle. That's how Roberts Robinson does business. First of all, the most transparent pricing you're going to find anywhere around is at Roberts Robinson. And yes, they're in Excelsior Springs. And did you know what? They will pick up your car for all of your service. That's right. You don't even have to worry about it. Don't worry about the drive. They'll make the drive for you. All your service on that vehicle will be covered. And it will, I can't say covered. Damn it. We got to do it again. Do I still have time? Okay. All right, listen up. Roberts Robinson GMC Chevrolet has got you covered with the best powertrain warranty you're going to find anywhere. Free lifetime powertrain warranty on all new vehicles. It's only available at a few KC GM dealerships, and Roberts Robinson, they've got it. So don't settle for a 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty. Get the lifetime powertrain warranty. Covers components like engine, transmission, transfer case, drive axle, fluids, and filters. The warranty ensures that the repair or replacement of any covered powertrain component that fails for as long as you own your vehicle. So what are you waiting for? Right now, Roberts Robinson can take care of your powertrain like no one else, right? And now they're offering more used vehicles than ever. So get on over to Roberts Robinson. Get the best trade-in or cash value for your vehicle, plus the most transparent pricing you're going to find anywhere around. Listen, Roberts Robinson is in it for the long haul. They know giving you a great deal on a vehicle means when it's time to buy another vehicle, you will be back. I love working with the guys at Roberts Robinson, and you will as well. Check out their bonus trade-in offers. That's right, give you more for your vehicle right now at Roberts Robinson. So get up there and see them. Check out over 140 vehicles in their inventory. Go online right now to robertsrobinson.com. That's robertsrobinson.com. And you can get 3.9% APR for 60 months on select Chevy Equinox SUVs. So what are you waiting for? No payments for 90 days as well. Roberts Robinson's got you covered. The best folks, the nicest people you're going to deal with anywhere is at Roberts Robinson Chevrolet. And they've got the best trade-in and the best warranties for you. So what are you waiting for? Get over to Excelsior Springs and see them at Roberts Robinson. Find them online right now at robertsrobinson.com. All right, we're talking to Blair Kirchhoff here in the program. Blair, always brought to you by our friends at Art and Frame Warehouse. FrameKC.com is where you can find Art and Frame Warehouse online. You can see them in person at 92nd and Metcalf. Make sure you tell them you heard it right here on the program. There are some special discounts for program listeners. And don't forget, everything comes with a lifetime warranty. Custom frame design, the very best. Gallery quality at warehouse prices. It's at Art and Frame Warehouse. Find them online at FrameKC.com. Blair, how about these Missouri Tigers? What do you make of the loss to Georgia? Is it just, hey, there's a competitive team. They're only a 1-point favorite at home. Georgia's ranked. It's a fine loss. I'll buy that. It's the fact that it comes after you had a loss that's not fine.
Yeah, yes, that's right. But, man, the last Georgia possession and Missouri's last possession just left you shaking your head. Look, both could have gone either way, right? I mean, you play a little bit better defense on the 3-point play by Georgia. You don't foul there, and then maybe look with 5.5 seconds. You get the length of the floor. I attack the basket. I don't try to do a curl, and you end up 30 feet from the you get the right guy shooting, but a little too far away. Jacob
Mm-hmm.
Cruz with a deep three. So those were both unfortunate situations. I thought Missouri played well enough to win. Georgia's good. Georgia's NCAA tournament team. No shame really in losing that game, except I just thought this was going to be one of those years where Missouri wouldn't lose at home. The atmosphere was great. This just seemed like a good enough team to run through the home part of the conference schedule. And yeah, the coming off the loss down at LSU, that drops them to 3-3, and I think they'll look. I think they're good. I think it's a tournament team. I think they'll take care of Oklahoma on Saturday, but a lost opportunity with the Georgia defeat.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that game did was like Jaden Stone had been so good since coming back.
Good enough where I think this is becoming his team. I think this is his team.
I mean, Mitchell is probably the best prospect.
Yes, and you're all conference candidate sort of guy.
But when you got to have a bucket,
Stone's taking the.
He's the guy that's taking it. And listen, there's nothing wrong. 5 of 14, you can't be above, shooting better than 50% all the time. When you're a guard, it's going to happen. But it was like, oh wow, this is the jet fuel.
Yeah.
This is the alcohol into the motor that jacks it up and has it going even faster than it was before. And so you felt pretty good. And I think it's the fact that everybody knows that they got to be above 500 in the SEC.
Right, that's right. The non-conference schedule demands that.
And he's scheduled that way for a while now.
And he has. That's his philosophy. That's fine. But in 2 of the last 3 years or 4 years, whatever it is, it's worked for him. In years 1 and 3, it worked for him. So, and it looks like it's gonna end up working for him now. What the Georgia loss does is it sort of gives back either pick one, either the Florida win or the Kentucky win.
Ken Palm projects them to go 8-10 in the league right now.
I think they'll be better than that.
They've only got them. There's 2 different things. One, what they expect it to be, and then what the win probability is.
Yeah.
The win probability has them winning only 3 more games, but a lot of them are really close, and so they're like, okay, you got 6 games, you're going to win 2 more of those.
Yeah.
You're not going to go 0-6. You're going to go like 2-4. But I mean, got to beat Oklahoma now. Because otherwise you're in a rut.
No.
Now it's a 3-game losing streak. Oklahoma, I think to get to the tournament, I mean, I don't want to say you say must win. Well, what if they win all their games? Yes, then it's not a must win. But realistically, to think if they will drop 3 in a row, and those 3 are to LSU, Georgia, and Oklahoma, you're not good enough to do what it's going to take to get you.
Right, I agree. And I didn't see a line on the weekend games, but I imagine they're a comfortable favorite over OU. Comfortable meaning 5+. Be my guess.
By the way, is this the last go round for last year at OU for Loyola's coach?
Yeah, Loyola's coach. Like Final Four Loyola coach.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they don't get there, I think it is.
Yeah. They
just haven't made enough progress.
No. That Oklahoma, I think, is number one, a tougher job than people might realize. But at some point you got, and he's changed leagues on his watch. Porter Moser, by the way,
thank you.
Finally hit me. Porter Moser, I am not seeing a line yet, but I'll look in a couple other places on where it is. But yeah, I think he needs to get on into the tournament this year, or there's going to be some real questions.
Yeah, yep, no doubt. But how about with every Florida success, Missouri's win over the Gators is looking better and better. I mean, Florida hasn't lost since then. I don't think Kentucky has lost since falling to Missouri, unless maybe they play tonight. But I think they won 2 straight after Missouri beat them in Kentucky. So that's those 2 games. Those prove to me that this team they got something. I think I really do. I think this is a tournament team, and again, unfortunate to give away. They didn't give it away, but to lose to Georgia. But they have Missouri had a 7-point lead late in the second half and couldn't hold on. Maybe some better shot selection by the Tigers. They were jacking up some threes early in the shot clock, but that's kind of how they play anyway. I'm still optimistic about this Tigers team.
Their next 6 games are Oklahoma, at Alabama, Mississippi State, at South Carolina, at A&M, and home for Texas. What do they need to do? Because in those 6 because then it's at Vandy, home for Tennessee, at Mississippi State, away for Oklahoma, and then Arkansas at home. But the Vandy, like there's 3 in there that are in like the top 25 of Ken Palm.
Yeah.
4. Vanderbilt, Arkansas, Tennessee, and then Arkansas again.
Yeah. They better make some hay here in the next couple of weeks. Of course, they're going to play an Alabama team that has a G League player, which is interesting. The 7-footer who's signed the NBA contract, but over 500 or better from Missouri is what it's going to take.
Yeah, you think 9-9? 9-9 you'll be watching on TV, but I don't think you're getting in.
I don't know. Maybe it'd depend on who those 9 are.
Okay. All right. Blair, great stuff. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you again next week.
Sounds good.
There he goes, Blair Kirchhoff. We'll take a break. What you need to know, and Mike Sando coming up next.
All right, who was the last defender to have 13 interceptions in a season? Brought to you by La Feta Delicatessen.
Fourth quarter of the program begins right now as we finish strong here on a Monday. Petro, Collier, the big guy, Curtis Seabold, off today. He'll be back in tomorrow. Our thanks again to Blair Kirchhoff, our college insider from the Kansas City Star. Joins us every Thursday in the program. If you missed it, talking KU, K-State, Missouri Hoops, Indiana's championship, get it at the podcast, 810WHB.com, or on the 810 app. Download it wherever you get your podcast. Just Google the program or search the program. I guess not Google it, but why don't you do that? Google search the program podcast. You will find whatever it is you're looking for. Let's start with some NFL news. The Baltimore Ravens have found their new coach. Second verse, same as the first. Not going offense. A lot of people speculating that the direction they would turn would be to go to an offensive mind to pair with Lamar Jackson. That's not what they're doing. They're hiring Chargers defensive coordinator Jesse Minter as their new head coach. Are we down with this hire? Does Jesse Minter check your box? The Ravens have only had 3 coaches. Ownership's pretty strong, pretty smart. Biscotti's, I think, does a pretty good job. But I would have thought that they were going to go offense here.
And I believe they have not let go of their OC, Monken. So they must feel strong in that plan there. And the Ravens' defense it really fell apart this year.
It did. And they had problems the year before bringing some outside help in to try to get it going, and they did get it going. But, this is interesting. This is interesting. Harbaugh out, Minter in. The Ravens had interviews with 16 different candidates.
Woo. I also found funny Minter sort of telegraphing he was going to get this job. Also canceled on the Browns.
Everybody's just like, I don't need to talk to you. I love it. They also interviewed Dolphins defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver, Bills offensive coordinator Joe Brady. Were 2 of the 16 interviews, 2 of the 13 other interviews besides Minter. But ultimately they'll go Minter, and I'm happy. I don't want some dynamic offensive mind coming in and making Lamar Jackson and that offense really hum. I mean, I think this means that the OC will continue to turn over. Anybody who does a good job, they'll be a head coach the next year. Can't stress enough, I think the right move is to find the best offensive mind. Now, if you don't have an offensive mind that you like, then you're better off hiring a defensive mind that you do like than just pushing and forcing an offensive mind in there. But I would really look really hard to find an offensive guy. That's not going to be what happens with the Baltimore Ravens. So I think it's good news for the Chiefs, but only time will tell. But Minter now in with the Baltimore Ravens. Let's hear from Adam Schefter. Adam Schefter today giving us an update on the Steelers head coaching search and the possibility of maybe reuniting a couple of old friends.
We have always seen the Pittsburgh Steelers hire young, defensive-minded coaches. And yesterday, they had an older, offensive-minded head coach, Mike McCarthy, who's from Pittsburgh, who would love nothing more than to go back and coach the Pittsburgh Steelers. And while he does not fit the profile of any recent head coach that they've hired, he does qualify and he does bring certain attributes that would help this organization. And he is in play for the head coaching job. I'm not saying he's going to get it, but he's definitely a strong candidate. And here's the thing with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Right now, they are in something of quarterback purgatory. They're in a division with Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow in a year where they don't have a high draft pick. They're not drafting one there that they could play. There aren't a lot of free agent quarterbacks available, not a lot you could trade. What are you doing? So if you hire Mike McCarthy, they've been open to bringing back Aaron Rodgers. Maybe that enhances the chances that they could have a reunion between Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy.
I don't remember it going well for those two at the end.
Right.
That was not a great pairing as it wrapped up. The other thing that stands out to me about that is I will give the Rooney family credit that they're not, so much is made of, they've had 3 coaches in, 50 years. They're not fixated on hiring some 30-something-year-old so that they can have a guy for 20 years. If you hire Mike McCarthy, this is not a 20-year hire. Right?
Right. And so I don't understand. You move on from Mike Tomlin. Okay, change is needed there. And you're just going to go back to Mike McCarthy?
Well,
to a guy who, has experience, but I feel like you want to do what Baltimore did. Get a guy in his early 40s like Jesse Minter.
Well, that's what I'm giving credit to the Steelers. I think you want to get the right guy.
Okay, yeah.
I think you want to get the right guy for 5 years. I think, and we see this a lot in college. You know, when Tom Osborne is coaches for 30 or 40 years, everybody wants to have that guy that you don't have to worry. He's never going anywhere. He makes it like, if you can find a 35-year-old hotshot coordinator who went to your school, that's everybody's dream. We hire this guy, and he coaches here for 35 years. We have great success, and I never have to hire another coach. Reality is you have to find the best coach. And it says one of two things. One, either like they don't love all the young candidates. Like I do think there's a time, and I think we're kind of there. I think the mindset like a couple of years ago was 18 to 14, or maybe was it 20 to 12 offensive-minded, offensive side of the ball guys versus defensive side of the ball guys. And so I think everybody does. Most owners are like, I need an offensive guy. I need to find an offensive guru and find a young quarterback, pair it together. That's what I need. I need my Reed Mahomes. And I think people are looking for that. But they were looking for it so much that offensive guys that really weren't finished products as a prospect were getting hired because they wanted offensive guys. And so that's what I say. If you look at it and go like, this guy's been a coordinator for 1 year. He's been in the NFL for 3. You know, before that, he was coaching wide receivers in college for 2 years. He had 1 year as an assistant offensive coordinator in college. His last 6 years, he's barely even been a coordinator, and I'm going to make him the head coach of an NFL franchise because they had a good year on offense with a great quarterback. Like, that's one thing. I do think.
You talking about Nathan Shiehouse of the Rams?
I mean, I wasn't, but he does.
He kind of fits that.
He does fit
bill
that
a little bit.
You know, there is like anybody who coaches under McVay for 5 seconds is immediately one of the top candidates.
Right.
Now, I think we know Nathan Shiehouse has been rising up more and more. And Nathan's in his 40s now, isn't he?
Good question.
I think he'd be, because he was a freshman when my brother-in-law was a senior at Rockers. I remember going to a Rockers game. The Rockers was winning big, and he came in and rushed for like 200 yards in the second half while playing quarterback. And I can't remember exactly how old. He might be like 30. Maybe I'm wrong. He might be upper 30s. 36? I'm going to guess 37. Put me down for 37 when you find it, Kyle. I'm going to guess he's 37 years old. But I do think he's a rising star. I think he's going to be a head coach in the NFL at some point. The question is he ready to do it now? And are you in a position as your organization to hire somebody like that and take lumps with him while he continues to learn how to be a head coach? And so
35.
He's only 35. Okay. All right. So I think, you know, I give the Steelers credit that they don't have a cookie cutter mold of what they want. Give me a young defensive guy. I'm going to put him in because that's what Mike Tomlin was. That's what Bill Cowher was. I'm not sure what position Chuck Noll was coaching. He was an offensive lineman by trade when he played for the Cleveland Browns, when he played for Paul Brown. That's how long. Like the first coach of the last 3 for the Pittsburgh Steelers played for Paul Brown. He played with Jim Brown.
And Blair actually nailed it. He said Chuck Noll went 1-13. That was in his very first season, 1969, at 37.
Yeah, at 37. So they're not, like, by at least talking to Mike McCarthy, they're not just handcuffing themselves to only 30-something-year-olds. That's the only thing I'll give him credit for. Listen, I think Nathan Shiehouse, everybody I've ever talked to raves about him. He is going to be a head coach. And so if you believe he's going to be a great one, hire him, but you might need to be patient. You might need to wait for a couple of lumps to be had along the way. One more I want to hear Dan Orlovsky. This is Orlovsky talking on Get Up about the Bills head coach search. He detailed the potential mistake the Bills can make in their search for a new head coach.
You better not hire the quarterback's friends. That's a mistake. You can't just hire somebody because you think he's going to be liked by Josh and it'll be a good relationship with Josh. Comfort is not what you need in Buffalo right now. You're not going to get over that final hump because you hire somebody that's buddy-buddy with Josh. The second thing is whoever you hire better be Teflon tough, man, because you can go to divisional round and stink. You'll get fired like that. You have to have somebody that knows you are walking into the hornet's nest because the expectations cannot be higher.
It's a good point. I'm going to go back to what he says about just don't hire his buddy. That's obviously a reaction to Brian Daboll, right? Who presumably is a guy that, we'll talk about it with Mike Sando. That's one of the things on my list to talk with him about. But, you know, I get that you don't want to hire buddy. You also don't want to piss off the franchise quarterback. who's already got enough crap to deal with right now because he's falling short again, and everybody like us saying he's not Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he ain't feeling great right now, and you're going to bring a guy that's going to come in and be like, I'll show Josh Allen who's boss. Like, maybe the Bills would run Josh Allen off. I don't think so. Like, they may tell you, we need a guy to come in here and be tough with Josh Allen. And then when Josh Allen makes it clear he's not happy with the new head coach, your fan base, who you're asking to buy PSLs and who you're probably going to raise the hell out of the price of the tickets going into your new stadium, is not going to side with the new tough guy coach. They're going to side with Josh Allen because they know what life without a quarterback looks like. So I hear what he's saying on that, but we'll see. We'll see.
And that owner might, when you leave town in Buffalo, that owner might run you over with the bus.
Yeah, and then back up. That beeping, that's him going for another run at you. Be careful. We'll take a break. We're going to talk to our NFL insider, Mike Sando, joins us next.
The program with Soren Petro.
When you stand next to me and go, wow, this is a big guy.
Weekdays from 2 to 6 on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Stock up, people. We got cold weather. Listen, if you don't want to get out, I don't want to make more of it.